My name is Aurelius Zeph, the protector of Banon, a small whaling village on an island off the coast. I lived my life as anyone should. I cared for my friends, loved my family, forgave my rivals, and built a home to be proud of, a home worth protecting. One day, when I was out whaling, the weather was foul, and the gods' whims must have been wrathful that day, for they sent a wave, bigger than the tallest mountain on Banon, straight towards the tiny island, to seemingly wipe it off the face of existence. In an act of desperation, I turned my small boat and headed straight on for the wave. I wasn't driven by rage, or the lust for glory, or the pride of trying to best a divine being's whim. I was driven by the deepest feeling someone could have. Love. Love for my home. Those rivals I forgave. The friends I cherished, and the family I raised, for they all would surely perish under this Armageddon. So I gripped my harpoon, and I sailed directly into this beast of a wave, and gave up everything I am to protect this beautiful, insignificant village. I gave up my body, and the strength that I built my home with. And I gave up the memories of my life, my friends, my family. They all became strangers passing in my dreams. I gave up everything, down to my soul, and to spare this island, and to stop that beast from taking it away. And now, as the shepherdess takes me, I can only hope that my sacrifice is enough for the unfeeling gods to notice and spare this small village. This small, insignificant village. My name is Aurelius Zeph. I am a mortal, and I am no more.
The rebel child Sindar sought to control and shape the primal passion that flowed throughout the universe. The other gods had no control over this passion and its overwhelming force, leading to many godly disputes. So, Sindar took this passion, shaped it into emotion, and created her son to rule over them. He was called Nevrik. Sindar charged Nevrik with the power of passion, separating it into 5 base emotions: love, fear, anger, joy, and sadness. Each of these emotions were tied to 5 elements: the immovable earth, the flowing water, the burning fire, the fleeting air, and the striking lightning. Each of these elements came together to form Nevrik's home, the catalyst of all emotion, and Nevrik was the key to unlocking all incorporeal sensation in the universe.
And so came midnight, lost in the stars of the fallen people of his world. As a mortal, Midnight was around in the early ages of his land, and was a part of the few that were at the beginning. Midnight's parents were the first to die, leaving Midnight in a state that would lead him to godship, the exploration of death, hoping that he could see his parents again, while also to be the god that understood what took his parents from him: death itself. Midnight is there to research, study, and ponder what the moment of death will bring to everyone. A worker with all the gods, but closely with Ystävä, leading you through the moment of death and handing you off to Ystävä for the afterlife. On the journey of life, Midnight comes when you least expect it. It watches how you make every decision to your last breath. Looking over every soul that reaches death, Midnight takes a moment to care for what you have done, what choices you have made, and what has brought you to your final breath. And with that final breath of life you take, Midnight will come.
During the birth of Regolus, Uro created with it a messenger who would meet with the Crucible and assist them with the maintenance of this blossoming new reality. I am Ünen, herald of Uro, and god of force. In the beginning, my work was primarily with Kirin, assisting with the creation of the elves. Since then, I have continued my mission to help this universe grow, and help the gods as they govern it, forever maintaining the vision that Uro had for his creation, and serving as linchpin for the forces of nature in order to maintain equilibrium.
Welcome. Don't be afraid. There's no reason to be. Let me start with telling you a story. Maybe that would make you more comfortable. But please, you're safe. This story is about the first person who died. So, when the first mortal perished, no place had yet to be created for the dead, except for the god sleep. This mortal came to the sepulchre of the gods alone and with no means to return to the worlds of the living. It was not a place for them. Yet, unfortunately, they were there because there was no other place for them to go. Fearing an eternity of nothingness, or worse, being discovered by a not-so-forgiving god, the mortal tore into the ether, desperate to escape. The ether tore back, filling the mortal with the vast potential that Uro gave existence. All that was before, and all that would come to be, ripped through the very essence of the mortal's mind and body. But the mortal's will was strong. So strong that once soul and vessel had been consumed by the void, their will remained. From the ether, something began to stitch itself together. The very fabric of the universe, combined with the mortal will to endure, weaved a new being. A friendly face to meet at the edge of eternity. A shepherd to guide souls from what was to what will be. The new god, imbued with the spark the mortal left behind, fashioned a name for themselves. Ystävä. Ystävä carved out a piece of the god sleep for the perished mortals, for you. Ystävä made it for them to come for a final rest, or to be reborn into the next cycle. And while this creation seems very mystical, some focus on the peace and the comfort the god of the afterlife provides. Others fear the great unknown, which I don't blame them. Unknowns are scary, but a very select few believe there might just be something more to be discovered, even beyond the veil. Maybe one day we'll find out. Welcome to the afterlife. My name is Ystävä.
At the beginning, there was only the void, thought birth, dark drinker, the heart of all magic. It was itself, the expanse of shifting emptiness, simply the before. Centered around this sliver, a fragment of existence itself, the void was everything and nothing, alive, dead, and dreaming all at once. Then, for seemingly no reason, and yet for every reason, something spawned from the dream of the void. It was a sentient orb of glittering light, energy, and brilliance. Uro, infinite unbound, was born, and simultaneously so too did the essence of the void fold in on itself, imploding, leaving only its dormant shell, the expanse of space itself, visible to its new creation.
At the moment of its birth, Uro is said to have had every thought that would ever be had all at once. And once it thought of everything, it became bored by what it found. It decided to change everything by imprinting upon existence its own grand design. Uro channeled all the energy of the infinite nothingness and effectively divided itself in half. One half remained pure, floating, sentient energy, but multiplied in size exponentially. It began to accrue its own gravitational pull, drawing in debris and matter from the corpse of the void, beginning what would later be called a planet. Uro's second half became La, the potter, sculptor of the gods. As Uro sealed its remaining self inside the ball of energy and hardening magma, it spoke to its only daughter thus.
You are La, that which shapes the formless, and from your shapes must come my legacy. With my soul, you will work wonders.
And La, duty-bound, worked wonders. In the first star, made in her afterbirth, she formed a fortress, her home and the home of gods to come, named the Hearth. And in the hearth she built a great wheel, like those we spin our clay upon, but great La, upon it she spun all that is. From the heat and the flame of the hearth itself she sculpted her sons. First came Dami Ino, hammer of the gods, and without intending to, La gave life to the cold space left in the wake of Dami Ino's creation, giving him a brother, Ystävä, the dark between stars. And so came to be the brothers celestial. Dami Ino hammered the myriad stars into light and life, while Ystävä carved roads between them, linking them together in the bleak quiet. But soon the brothers began to bicker and spat, and their fights would rumble the heavens, and the ball of rock and ambition would seethe, so La would answer. To find balance between their squabbles, La sculpted Aldwyn, the Scales overseer. And as he was built to do, Aldwyn stopped the arguments he could before they were even to happen, and the ones that went too far he cleaved in twain with word and might. And for a time, things were quiet. But like her ancestor, even in slumber and respite, La was at work. Her dreams were filled with exploration and passion and movement and life, though life, as we know it, did not yet exist. And her dreams gathered at the wheel all the starfire and the solar winds, and the humming of tectonic plates of the burgeoning planet below, and the liquid ichor that flowed in all of La's children. And from this gathering came Sindar, all that moves, elementalist. Sindar was the rebel child. She did as she pleased, and she in turn pleased very few, but was respected and feared by all, as she built a world for all the elements to flow through at once. In their unity, this family of 5 turned to the now gargantuan ball of elemental fury beneath them, and feeling Uro's will surging through them all, they began to act. Drawing power from the new-birthed planes across the multiverse, these gods imbued the planet with life. The flora
thrummed with diluted ichor which would soon become water and fill. From the flora would come small moving things that would drink of the ichor and change and grow apart over and over and over. Each creature and thing on this planet has a story and a path that leads back to these gods, or the gods to come. But those are stories for other days. When at last the work was done, and the planet was filled, but filled too with chaos, the first family became overwrought. They needed someone to help keep track of all that had come before, and all that was to come, so La spun the wheel one last time, and from this finality sprung Kirahan, Archivist of Memory. Kirahan was the first of this family, the Crucible, to inhabit the planet and walk it themselves, sheltering under the massive tree formed when they first touched the soil. With this last work done, these gods, this Crucible, looked upon the teeming globe beneath them, and through their ichor heard Uro speak once more.
Witness, Regolus. 'Tis mine, and mine alone, but those who writhe upon it are yours, and yours henceforth. Do what you must, please me, and inasmuch serve yourselves.
And it is here where things begin to unfold which neither Uro nor any of the Crucible could ever expect. A second branch of their family was about to grow and take root, and it is here, with these new gods, that our story will begin.
it's
I can
it's
see-
picking us up.
yeah,
It's picking us up.
It's picking us up.
So we're
for
definitely
sure.
live. They can now hear us.
Nice.
I'm not seeing it on the. It's not coming up on the thing though. There should be a green thing. You see where the little dial is above? That should be live.
They can hear us. They can hear us. It's fixed. It's fixed.
Can hear you?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, everybody.
Great.
Dan, we love you.
Last thing, everyone.
Thank you, Dan.
Discord.
I love you all.
Miss you.
Perfect.
Have fun in the humidity. Oh.
Can we do that on the fourth?
Excellent.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Hold on, I have to add it to the. I can't.
Okay.
So
that's
now
so
it was. Oh,
great.
I know you
We'll
noticed.
take a break and fix it later.
Strange.
Yeah,
I forgot
right,
to add the
so,
audio to it.
Just to
Think about that.
rewind
Yeah,
time.
what were our lines
completely.
again?
Was hello, happy Monday evening, and welcome back to another episode of Bards of New York. You will notice, as I'm sure you've had ample amount of time to do so, there is a strange figure sitting over here to my left,
Deja vu.
or down, that way on the camera, and it's a ghost of DM's past.
Oh.
Come to, as you self-proclaimed earlier, derail the campaign.
Yeah.
And I said we have other things to attend to before you can get to derailing. But before we get to any of that, just our fun usual announcements. First up, and this is a big one for those of you listening, please come join our Discord. There is a link to do so below because I have a task for all of you currently on Discord. I'll make a post about this a little later, but I want you to actively start thinking about and actively start posting about ideas you would like to see on a primeval Regolus encounters table. Yes.
Can we post things too?
You absolutely can.
Woody's coming at us with his. What did you say?
Chaotic Sagittarius energy.
This is to invoke that. This is basically we're looking to design, as I said before, 3 moat redemption tables here to roll upon based on where we are. Right? It's like the cosmos encounters, hearth encounters, and primordial Regolus encounters. And I know we did a little bit of this on Discord earlier, but start brainstorming and start posting away. And if you haven't joined our Discord yet, that's a good enough reason to do so. Also, just hang out with us. We're an okay group to hang out with. Hannah, have anything else for us today?
Yes, we hit over 1,500 followers on our Instagram page. Thank you so much to everybody who's spreading the word and telling your friends. We will be holding a giveaway soon. I'm just working on the details of said giveaway, but continue to tell your friends because when we get to 2,000 followers, we're gonna have another one. And that's some free-ish, some really free, cool, creative things. I know there's what? No, not that. We're not doing that, James Oscar.
Custom made?
I know that we have a jewelry item that we'll be doing, and we're trying to get a collab with Dice Maker. So, yeah, stay tuned for that giveaway. The giveaway will be announced on Instagram. That's where we do most of our communicating besides on Discord.
Yeah.
Love yous.
Come check that out. Anything else from the chat, from the group? Please.
Also, another thing about our Twitch moats, we changed up our mode of inspiration. For those of you who may not know, it is you can pay some channel points and give a little extra dice roll to a character of your choice, including the DM. We've made it so that you can do more per stream, and also it's a little bit cheaper just because we want more people to be able to do it, and we want some more chaos for Will to deal with.
I've given you all ridiculous sets of abilities, and you've utilized them well to this point, so why not mess things up even further?
Just to let y'all know.
Why
Great.
did you become a donkey?
You don't know who my person is.
It's true. So, before... Jesus Christ, help me. Before we really start getting back into this, we have our weekly tarot card pulling to do, and it is absolutely, since we are graced by your presence today, it's your turn, Woody.
Wow, I guess Woody skipped me in line.
I was going counterclockwise.
I know, and
so
it would have been me, but Woody just had to be here.
Pop his way in.
And pulls us.
The High Priestess.
High Priestess indeed.
There's no love the card.
The High Priestess. Okay? That's mysticism, knowledge, magical power, but not at the expense of your own solitude like others. So think intrigue and think mysticism today.
Intrigue and mysticism.
Huh.
Amen.
Amen.
So,
Thank you for coming to the cult of Ystävä.
we are now going, as I put the rest of these tarot cards away, we are now going to fade back in. So everybody brace yourselves, buckle up, and bring all of your nectar and ambrosia to the table as we fade back down onto the world, the planet itself of Regolus Prime. Last session was an interesting one. Started out with a wee excursion down to the Mind Bleed, where Nevrik took a dive and sought to, a mental dive, as it were, mostly floating there, just to view, as you decided, the origin, or a piece of the origin of the planet, right, of the world. That's what you chose to look upon, and that was a vision with which you were granted from the Mind Bleed before being spat back out in no short term. Then, as the group of you, the three of you, went with Kirahan to access the world beacon to venture down to Regolus, you were stopped briefly by the last god you hadn't met yet, Aldwyn, god of balance, who tried to dissuade you from venturing down there, as he thought it would upset the sort of the precarious settling of things. And thanks to some smooth talking on Ystävä's part, you were able to convince him to be a little less wary, a little less overbearing, so long as you all assumed mortal form and didn't do anything too ostentatious, right? In one way of saying it, at least. So with that settled, the group of you beamed yourselves down, took ye oldie Bifrost, basically, down to Regolus, and arrived on a hillside in this great big forest, overlooking a huge tree in the center, which you knew and then later found truly to be Ystävä, otherwise known as Heart of God. And initially, Ystävä just warped basically straight there and drew a little bit of attention and met with one of Heart of God's leaders, an elf named Viran. And you guys went inside, and for a while, both Nevrik and Ünen were traveling across the forest together. But you guys caught the attention of a small hunting party. And Ünen, you took that opportunity to yeet away and follow in Ystävä's steps, while Nevrik, you basically wanted to set yourself on level ground, it seemed, with these hunters. So you got down to their level, you talked with them, and you joined them on their little expedition, led by this elven hunter, Tamsin. So, while Ystävä and Ünen got a little bit of a briefing on the setup here at Heart of God, the livelihood of the Elvenon people, everything was interrupted by this strange scream in the distance that didn't seem terribly loud, but did shake the foundations of the tree. And it alerted Uvaran, who stood up rapidly and said, "Oh no," basically, a guardian, before starting to move out of the room. And we then cut to, of course, ending the session, Nevrik and this Tamsin's hunting party here approaching this rings and rings of trees and seeing this magnificent but frightening looking creature that then became alerted to your movement before letting out the self-same screech. So, it is here, briefly back in the spiraling, hollowed out tree city that is the bulk of Heart of God, that we will pick up with the pair of you in this little meeting room made of bark inside the inner parts of the tree, as Uvaran has just gotten up and moved out the door. The shaking has stopped, mostly, and the screech has cut out, but you can hear movement, sort of like almost pitter-pattering throughout the tree itself.
I look to the old crone, and then I warp away, and I'm just going to go, like in what in my mind is like a diagonal, like almost
Right.
as if you were just dimension dooring, like
Out and up.
just like kind of go like
Sort of with your goal to be phase through side of tree, end up floating up.
as high, like far, so that I can
So you can
see what's
look.
going on. Yeah.
And in this, are you trying to like skip space as well and move distance, or just like warp through things?
How
How far laterally are you attempting to go in this displacement? or just like up and out vantage point?
I guess up and out vantage point, but like out a good amount, like I don't know, like 500 feet.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's
much.
no,
just like
that's fine.
out and
Not
because he doesn't. I heard
I'm asking
noise.
basically is if you're wanted to like move far out of the confines of the area of Uthervanan, right?
More up. Than
Perfect. That's all I need to hear.
But not against the tree.
Yeah, out through and outside of it, basically.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so you give this little nod to Ystävä and then sort of displace and dissipate into matter and pass away, leaving you functionally alone in this room.
Nobody else is in the room with me?
No, because Uvaran walked out the door.
Great. I think Guardian, and I go. I don't know what that's gonna do, but that's what I do.
Speak, friend.
Okay.
No.
You think Guardian and that same sort of like with that momentum and you feel the world around you begin to shift and peel like overripe fruit around you. Can you please roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Can I also roll a perception check to see if I...
We'll get to you in a second.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because you are in action currently.
Combat.
22, 20.
Did I... Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
I guess...
That is a 27.
Okay, 27. Perfect. So as the image of your current space sort of rips and pulls away from you and peels away, your consciousness is flickered with visions of a lot of different creatures, and they all look strange, kinda. You see at one point, 27 you said?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You see a handful of things, and they move by in your sort of peripheral vision quite quickly, surrounded by flickerings of sound and light. You see an image of something that looks almost canine, this big sort of matted furry thing with fangs that are displaced in weird moments, but it speeds away quickly because you don't get too good of a look at that. All these images speed by quite quickly as your brain is almost, or your consciousness seems more focused and pointed than you're even aware with that 27. So you see this canine looking thing, you see something large and shadowy clearly moving underwater. You see a number of flying things, both scaled and feathered. And then for a brief moment, an image flickers by you that looks very, very familiar. Looks almost like a large rabbit in a suit.
Motherfucker.
That flickers right by you. Before your image then sort of stops, or rather slows down all this momentum around you, on a large creature with shimmering silvery white glowing fur, twisted fractaline antlers, and this bifold mouth looking active and wrathful. And as this image coalesces, you sort of fold reality back into place around you, and we'll come to you in a split second. Ünen, you warp out the side of the tree, up a few hundred feet, or total movement diagonally a couple hundred feet, and you can feel movement around you from the tree behind you. You can see way down below you people moving about. It's not too erratic. There doesn't look to be like organized chaos going on.
Yeah, it's not like we're preparing for
Yeah,
war.
no. Some people just seem to be a little skittish or looking out at something, but other people are just seemingly moving normally.
Got it.
Slightly more active, I guess, than when you came in.
Okay.
As you look out across the vastness of the Heart Wilds, what can you roll me a perception check?
I 100% can.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice, dude. Oh, I can't
Nice.
look at my spell list. I don't know what I'm doing, guys.
22.
22. What are you looking for?
Loud noise. I think Ünen is not only looking with eyes, but also trying to sense what would have made that noise. So like a large creature.
Sure.
So that like the difference in any sort of like gravitation is infinitesimal. trying to like pinpoint out like, okay, there's definitely like some shit over there.
Okay, like big picture, seeing what almost perspective lines, natural perspective lines of movement and activity direct you towards a focal point, basically.
Or like if I guess if it was a movie, the forest would become like kind of like a grid, and where things are, like there's little indents in it, kind of like how like gravity affects space-time, and like he's really kind of looking for like a bigger indent for like something.
So with the 22, I will say there is a space you can feel a good distance off to the west in the direction that you came from that has that kind of slight weight to it. You can feel more pressure there.
Yeah.
And as you direct your attention over there, you can see in the distance a tiny like little flickering speck of light amidst the canopy. And above, you can see some clouds starting to form.
Okay. That way. But like parallel to the ground.
And like flying like at
speed.
At speed.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there. Okay. Cool. So you start Supermaning your way over in that direction. Nevrik. The last thing we had happen with you here is you and Tamsin like belly crawling it in front of the hunting party here, the small squat hunting party, making your way towards an inner layer of trees where this creature stood, and it was Tamsin moving that alerted it and snapped its bifold mouth-headed face towards you and caused that screech. And it hasn't reared fully up. It hasn't, made a move yet, but you can sense that it's about to. Tamsin is clearly drawing his bow over his shoulder and beginning to notch it. What do you want to do? You get one set of things to do before we really kick off here.
Before, like...
You can feel tension in the air. I'll put it that way.
Okay. I have a spidey sense?
Not like a spidey sense, but like,
Danger sense.
There's an awareness that this is not about to be a stable situation in a few moments.
Instinct.
I honestly... I will summon... I'm gonna use the Sacramento.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw some runes. But
great.
Can I delay the summoning?
Sure, that depends on what you're delaying it.
I don't want... Well, actually, I will do it. And I will have the earth... I'm gonna use earth elementals.
Just like right in the dirt, like draw that little 5-pointed star.
To draw attention away from Tamsin.
Okay. So you want to basically do it as things are starting?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, as you're beginning to trace this sigil into the earth, and Tamsin is like flickering up these quick hand signs behind him, and as he draws this bow, and you can hear the other the squat skittish hunters starting to move behind you. There's a sound like tearing paper and a lot of bubble wrap being popped at the same time, as from somewhere behind you there's a rush of wind as Ystävä appears in space, seemingly folded there by reflections of light in the air. And it is right here that I'm going to ask we switch to the battle map and roll for some initiative.
That's not
very
mine.
important. Very, very important. Do you still look like the crone?
I do.
I get an extra D8.
We're back in.
That's cute.
We are back in. Okay, perfect.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
welcome.
I need a pair of you to roll me initiative.
You're gonna lose.
And you're actively summoning this elemental, so it's not going to count as your actual. Like it'll appear as this is all kicking off. So if you guys don't, you have a mini? Yes, both of you.
Yes.
I will need them.
Oh, I didn't grab one. Shit.
I did not grab. I only got here late.
Or is it still in the closet?
I think it is.
Well, that's
I have minis.
Perfect.
Oh,
I have minis.
amazing.
Who wants Alethea and who wants Lilith?
I'll take Lilith.
Or are they both
We're in the
Alethea?
process of
I have 2 Aletheas and
getting
1
some
Lilith.
3D
I did
prints
say
ready for
Lilith
this
was my.
shovel.
Yeah, because I couldn't find one for the OG Alethea that had a skull.
I'll take the shovel.
I'll take Lilith.
So you've appeared here.
You get Alethea.
Okay.
You're somewhere right about
I'll
here-ish.
change my knee.
Excellent. And this, I'm going to use this little bear here as your elemental. Your earth elemental for now.
That was my
You
first
summon
thing
it
I
up.
ever painted.
Okie dokie, folks. Who?
Okie doke.
Everybody rolled? I don't need you to roll yet.
Yes.
You're going basically as a round action at the end of the round until we get
I was
to
already
where
ahead
we're
of you.
going.
I didn't even roll because I was like, will tell me.
Great. Okay, we have. Oh, that's uh-oh. We're cooking with gas now. We're cooking with gas now.
Thing rolls natural 20.
Okay.
Decimates.
Who got above a 20?
I may be level 20, but my initiative is +1.
I didn't get above.
Okay, get a 20 nat.
Not natural.
Dirty.
Normal.
Dirty 20.
What did you, what's, okay, dirty 20.
I have a filthy girl.
Okay, you got a dirty 20.
Do I make you Randy, baby?
Do I
make you Randy?
Do I make you horny?
What did you get?
I got an 18.
An 18? Oh! Okay, Ystävä.
Ystävä.
And then we have our friends. I was half expecting the pair of you to like. I just love that basically things kicked off, and the two of you were like, "Nice, we're out." Great. Okay.
What are we gonna talk about it?
I don't know. I just know that Overon is going to be a little surprised to see the pair of you no longer in the room.
Oh no! He comes back in.
Like,
Oh wow!
huh?
Not a really big deal, but
Oh.
suddenly there's a sound of a meteor crashing.
Great. Perfect. So.
Speaking of meteor.
Oh. Uh-oh. Great.
Not speaking of meteor.
Speaking of meteor.
What did she say?
You made me a phoenix cleric.
What did she say?
Oopsie.
I'm gonna use it.
A phoenix cleric?
Okay. Perfect.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, you welcome to the party.
We've also done a lot of creativity with this one.
Yeah, they're all homebrewed.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Well, sorry.
Well, that's not our problem, is it?
Okay, so first of all, we're going to start this combat with the Guardian's turn. The Guardian is going to tilt around this way, having seen the both of you. 1, 2, 3, walks slightly towards the trees and just rears its head back. And if I'm not crazy here, it's going to rear its head back so the light catches off all these fractalian antlers, and with a great, almost half cry, half howl, the light gathers in the antlers and starts to refract in between the two antlers.
Not solar beam.
Big,
I was about to say, oh my god! What is that fucking about? The steer?
The Stantler, yeah.
Stantler.
Yeah.
This light refract.
Stantler's charging up.
Literally, except no
Arceus.
charging here. It's going to gather into this sort of orb of white
Xerneas.
brilliance right in front of it. Sure, that's really on it.
No.
And this flashes. And as it dissipates and flashes away, it condenses right about here as it's going to cast Sunburst.
I would like to cast shield on myself as a
Just
reaction.
a nice yeet. Great, absolutely. It buffs your armor class, right? Am I
Yep.
crazy?
It's a dex save.
It's a
I was
confidence.
gonna say maybe save that.
Okay, never
I mean, you're shielded, so that's
I'm good.
great.
Great.
But I'm going to need all of you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Ew, I'm so good at those.
Am I good at those? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I am.
What's yours? It's not my highest. It's a 10, pussy.
Huh?
You want to know my strength and charisma? What's your charisma saving throw?
You go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go.
I went first last time.
1,
I bet mine's just as much as yours.
2.
It's 1.
Weak.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I'm a leader.
You're charismatic.
I'm a leader of men.
3.
You're
yep.
swimming with the fishes.
4.
You're literally hanging out
5.
in
Okay.
Ystävä's waiting room.
You do well
So,
in an interview.
you hang out in
Fucking
Ystävä's
nerd.
waiting room.
It's a hallway full of doors.
Oh!
Is there a bunch of magazines piled up next to me?
And there's a cactus.
Is it a nice guy?
And fluorescent lights.
Yep. Haven't been
Halogen
invented
bulbs.
yet. Ystävä invented
Okay.
fluorescent lighting.
What did we get
You're in
for
hell.
con?
22.
22.
This is the bad
I
place.
got a 17.
17. And those are what I need from you. So you actually both, unless I'm crazy, I think you both succeed, which is good.
That's dangerous because I'm a god, but I'm a wizard.
So you both succeed.
I'm a god, I'm a wizard.
So you are gonna take, and these two goblins right here, they succeeded as well, but everyone else failed. So that's 12d6 of radiant damage, which will be halved
Guess
for the
what?
pair of you.
I'm resistant.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
So what does
7,
that do?
8. That halves that you'll be quartered basically.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Need some
10,
D4s?
11. I should be okay.
Fun. She's strong.
12.
I can't show you mine. You showed me it
Lots of
last time.
damage! Oh my god.
I don't
Okay.
remember anything.
That's 10, 20,
Steel trap.
30,
I think it's in.
40. That's going to be 49 points of radiant damage, which is halved for my successes. To 24, and halved
then
again for you to 12.
12.
So it like wends around you, this light. These, and however, yeah, what you can hear behind you. Oh my god. Wait. Hang on a second.
Oh my Ystävä, you mean?
Oh my Ystävä, sorry. So, Tamsin, who is still like barely getting off the ground, falls flat on their back and is singed and burning up and writhing in pain. You hear a sound like boiling water in a tea kettle.
Oh, nice.
And the sizzling as all 5 of the squat hunters are completely disintegrated. Turned to ash.
You're not alone in the
In an
waiting room
instant.
anymore.
You are not alone in the waiting
All
room.
of your friends. So do we like fill out a
It's
form?
not my fault. They decided to go attack it.
And that is the thing's turn. That's the Guardian's turn. So we are then going to move on to Nevrik. This guy isn't unconscious yet, but he is prone for sure.
Let us see. Give me one moment.
That face when sunlight melts your body. Is
That's
that what the heat death of the universe is gonna be like?
Blinded by the light.
Goblins boiling from the inside out. Sure.
Like a dude.
So Nevrik, it's you and then this earth elemental that you've conjured from the raw ground. If Tamsin had had time to really process, he had a face of sort of astonishment at your act before he was singed into near third-degree burns.
He's not dead.
No, he is alive. He is alive and conscious, but in a serious agony, like actively rolling on the ground and screaming.
What size is the beastie?
The beast, I would say, is it's not. It's bigger than large, but not huge.
Bigger than large, but not huge.
That's
okay. Yeah.
Let me see.
It goes without saying.
It
at
goes
this point.
without saying.
Hey, Rachel.
I'm just reading some spells.
Oh
I
my god.
apologize.
You're
The
throwing
now,
that one out?
it's like
Hold
the
on.
issue is like
I get it for free.
we're spoiled for
It's
choice
inside
now with all of the options we
Yeah.
can do.
Oh.
So it's not a rules pit stop, but a choice pit stop.
I think I know what I'm gonna do. Wait, maybe I'll.
Are all the effects are I'm about to
Okay.
cast yeet.
Oh my god.
No. I'm gonna use the power within me, the staff of power within me.
Okay, I forgot.
And cast Wall of Force.
Sure. Okay.
Right in front of it.
So you just again like hand out. This magic just channels from within you. What's the dimensions on it?
So I'm going to. It's 10 foot by 10 foot panels, and I can choose to form it as a dome, a sphere, Or you can shape it as a flat surface. Oh, it can be yeah, okay, sorry. You can form it in a hemispherical dome or a sphere with a radius of up to 10 feet. Or you can shape a flat surface made up to 10 foot by 10 foot panels. Each panel must be contiguous with another panel in any form. The wall is 1/4 of an inch thick.
So how long are you making a flat thing, or are you doming around it?
I think I'm gonna dome around it.
Okay, so what's the size of the dome?
It's 10 feet around.
Just
that's what
around
it's saying.
it? Hang on. Now we have an actual rules pit stop because these high level spells get oh, it's only level 5.
We need to get like a noise, a sound cue for rules pit stop.
Yeah, like when a truck breaks.
Oh. So,
it's a hemispherical dome.
If you're doming around it, is that what you want to do?
It's hemispherical, so it's only half.
Yeah, well, it's
Let's see.
Half a sphere.
Radius of, and it would be half a sphere, and it's 20 feet total across and 20 feet tall,
20
basically.
feet tall. Okay. Yes.
So you want it centered on it?
Yes.
So let me just move it. We're gonna have this area, right? Yeah, this is the thing. It's now blobbed in the dome of force there, basically, as you just cast. Well, you become a Jedi briefly. And what does this thing do?
Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly. However, the wall also extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall.
Perfect. So you've essentially just domed this thing in there and trapped it, held right there. Love it. Very much love it. Okay. Anything else you want to do?
I want to get Tamsin to us. You can heal, right?
I am a cleric.
Yeah. Okay.
Have I healed at all? Not yet.
I want to carry Tamsin to Ystävä.
Okay.
See if she can do some magical healing.
So he does not resist. He is like still writhing. He's crispy to the touch. Like he has actual like.
He looks like Anakin.
Yeah. He's not quite there, but he's definitely in the beginning stages.
I mean, he has his limb.
Yeah. He's a bit temporoed right now.
See flash fried, country fried, deep fried.
And you bring him 5, 10, 15, right over to Ystävä over here, and he is, though he's still clenched up in pain, his eyes are as wide as they can be while still melting a little bit. Sort of baffled expression on his face looking between the two of you. Okay, anything else?
I guess like
Still a crown.
for right now,
Come here, little boy. I'll heal you.
I've got the Earth Elemental there. I'm going.
What a nice young man.
I'm. That's the end of my turn now.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
Right there. We then go to Ystävä.
Oh.
Ystävä the crone. You've just been dumped this
What do I do with this?
crispy fried chicken of an elf.
I look
Gross. Ew.
at the Guardian and I cast Wall of Fire in a circle around it.
Around the wall of force. That's incredible.
Yes.
Stacking them.
It's 20 feet high and 20 feet in diameter.
In
And
diameter.
It's 1 foot thick.
So if it's 20 foot in diameter, it actually can't. Oh no! It literally
It's
just
the exact
rings
same,
the.
So it just turns it in. Yeah.
You just set the dome ablaze, basically.
This thing is.
It's like a circus act.
Confused.
This thing was just eating its fucking lunch.
And then it disintegrated a bunch of little.
It
Yeah,
must,
well.
Gerblins.
Yeah, goblins.
it must make a dexterity saving throw.
It actually can't because magic can't pass through the wall of force.
Oh, that
You're doing that
sucks.
thing, you know, they take the bucket and they put it on your stomach and they put a rat in it and they light it on fire. This is the rat.
No, this is a fire.
Well, that's the fire. This is the rat.
I want to burn them. Bonus action healing
belly
word. Because that's my whole ish, right?
Yeah.
Uro is the belly button.
And that's a little D4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. Ooh, I rolled a 4, you lucky duck. What is their name? Ronan? What's their name?
Tamsin.
Tamsin.
Ronan.
Well, that's I don't. You know what? Whatever. That's a 9 points of healing damage.
Perfect.
Remember me?
And
Best man.
I have a question about my rule here. I have a divine domain feature. It's called Warmth of the Flame.
Yeah.
Any spell that I cast at first level or higher that deals fire damage, I can choose to heal one creature within 30 feet of me. Now, it hasn't dealt the fire damage, but the spell can deal fire damage.
The spell...
The only
I would
reason
say,
it hasn't dealt the fire damage is because I put...
And I would say, it doesn't say when you cast a spell and it deals fire damage. When you cast a spell that deals fire damage. I would rule this is basically when you cast a fire type spell,
I get one.
the
byproduct
the Phoenix
of that.
Flame,
Yeah.
basically, absolutely.
So,
Doesn't have to deal with
as Ystävä casts Wall of Fire. I sound like Mary Casaro.
You sound like Mary Casaro.
I hate this.
I've never met this woman.
I'd like to heal you.
Wait, first.
Your alignment's not right. Let me fix that for you.
In this this crone's old eyes,
I can't unhear
you
it.
see, I look right into Tamsin's eyes, and my eyes go fiery. And then it heals Tamsin for 13 points. Nope, not 13 points. I'm sorry. It is. It's the spell's level, not my level. 7 points.
7 points? Okay.
You're a god, you can only do that much.
As you guys
It's a first level domain feature there,
Oh,
bud.
okay.
And then I would like to, as my movement, whip off my hood and look at the creature and whatever they see in me, we'll find out.
Cool. Okay. So, in sequence, let's just run this through.
I'm a fucking lunatic.
Is its dick also biful?
Also, what am I doing has
Nothing we know so far has the capability of having sex so far on this planet. So.
Okay, folks.
Ystävä asked. What am I doing has redeemed a mode of inspiration for Ünen.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, we'll get to that when we get to Ünen.
Thank you, what am I doing?
So,
What am I doing?
in sequence, Nevrik brings the charred form of Tamsin the Hunter over to you. And you get to work first speaking that word of healing, letting that great wall of flame ring in the dome, and as it does, you basically let the healing flame from your own eyes weave into Tamsin. And as some of these burn marks and singe marks all over Tamsin begin to retract and heal, leaving only patches remaining, though he's still worse for wear, he sort of begins to sit up. Again, that not language, but the communication that you're both able to receive. What are you?
It's alright. I will be clear soon.
There is pain and fear and general anguish in this basically child's face.
All I could think of was,
I'm vengeance.
I vengeance destroyer worlds.
So cool. You've basically penned this thing in. It would be the goblins' turn now, but they all got one shot. They all had 7 health. And the ones that succeeded still took 28 or 24 points of damage, so they got roasted.
Mommy?
We're level 20. The rest of the world's level 1 still.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So then we will go to the end of the round, which is Ünen. As you are flying at speed towards this site, you can see that storm continue to now become an actual storm. These clouds darken and begin to swirl above this one particular place in the forest. And there's first a honing of sunlight on that spot, a bright glittering of sunlight, before that light dies down. But you can still feel that pressure, that weight heading in that direction. And with all of this, you're again kind of just driven. As the weight in this one side of the forest presses deeper, you can feel it like almost mingle with your own domain, right, of gravity and force, and that's going to let you surge.
I mean, I feel like the wall of force is also like it's literally like
directly
a homing beacon. It's like,
calling upon you.
pure that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're inspired. At this rate, you will get to this site in 2 combat rounds. Are you going to speed up? Are you going to do anything else? Are you going to prepare anything?
Give him the nos.
I will. Yeah, I'll speed up.
You'll speed up? Okay.
Yeah, I still want to do parallel, so I arrive like with a bird's eye view.
Yeah, just like above.
Yeah, I want to get there so that I'm up
Close
here
things.
so that I can like assess.
Yep, absolutely.
Before just yeeting in.
But that's what you're going to use your round action. Brilliant. So you are going to just speed
I want to
through.
get the fuck there.
Brilliant. Excellent. So we then go to the top of this round, and as this thing is still penned in here, Ystävä, you've looked at it, and while you can't quite tell what it is thinking, it's this giant beast. You see its 6 eyes focus on you, though then 2 of them at the back here sort of are looking around at the dome, and it's definitely unnerved. You can see its fur raise up and get hackled a bit as it raises those 2 mouths again. And as this roar ripples throughout the dome, these trees start to shift. And as the trees start to sort of shift and wend in a wind that isn't blowing, some of the bark at the base of them begins to splinter and crack outwards and take these almost shapeless but bestial quadrupedal forms.
Fuck. We're fighting the Lorax.
So I'm just,
A dinosaur!
I'm using some random minis here, folks. I'm using random minis. Yeah, we're gonna use another bear over here. And we'll use a little.
There's a Daisy mod that turns all of the zombies into velociraptors, which makes it
scary.
Lot scary.
Really scary. So we've got these these creatures that look like they're made of almost leaf-bound wind and fractured bark and roots, clambering out of the trees themselves, and they look upset. So they're gonna go right there. Okay. I will say, however, as they've emerged from the trees, the smell in this grove becomes amazing.
Ooh.
It smells sweet and floral and luscious and green and ripe, and the grass from this point outwards is like bristling a little bit.
The putty antlers.
Top of the round, we are going to go to the Guardian here.
I'm sorry. Guardian.
The Guardian.
Is that Welsh?
Exactly.
Is that one
What
food?
can the Guardian? What can the Guardian do here? You know what? If I'm looking at these spells, I think some of them can pass through it. Nothing can physically pass through the wall, right?
Correct.
Can you see through the wall?
You sure can.
You
It's
can
an
see
invisible
through it.
wall.
Through the fire and the flames?
Yeah, the fire's only, what, 20 feet tall?
Yeah.
That obscures vision a little bit. Oh, it's not going to be that spell, though. It's certainly not going to be that spell. Give me 1 second. I have all of this stuff. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Absolutely. So it's gonna, it'll try and swipe at the air in front of it, as it can't quite process what's going on with this dome. But as it's swiping, its attention is drawn further above it to that gathering storm. And again, through this dome, you can hear, whoa. And this deep bass growl as the antlers again light up, and this time they're bright blue as the storm clouds darken considerably as it casts call lightning. And the storm is going to bubble and boil and roil, and from the center of the maelstrom here, this peal of blue-white light is going to land right here.
Ah, fuck.
That's not it,
Just
hon.
healed him.
So that's going to be, what is that? A dex save from all 3 of you.
Who's the bear?
This is elemental.
Got it.
Earth elemental summoned by Nevrik.
Amazing.
Okay.
That was a quick campaign too, guys.
Oh, did I do that?
Probably.
That's my bad.
It's okay.
I got it. Let me
There we go. Excellent. So what did you guys get?
Dex save?
Dex save.
Sorry, I'm dealing with camera issues. That's a 10.
That's a 10. Perfect.
And that's a 15 for me.
Delectable,
God damn it.
excellent, and that is a, what is that for my man? I think that's an 8 for my man.
Jesus.
Not even. That's a
Patron man?
7 for Tamsin. So all three of you are gonna take what is that? 3d10? That's not terrible. That's 18 points of lightning damage as this bolt just sears the ground around you. As it singes the floor and the grass is burnt away, it immediately regrows.
Oh, Ystävä's fascinated by this.
So Tamsin, having just gaining sense again, bolted by the lightning, is whole half of the body now scarred and singed, but still alive.
Oh my god.
Still alive.
I feel like this is... I kind of wish he was dead, because this is far worse.
Torturous. And that's going to be its turn. We're then going to move to our little summon friends here. These summon friends, this one is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Dash 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Right up there. We're going to have this one push in, and it's going to deal with your elemental. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Or, no, 30. It's going to stay right there. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Dash 35, 40. Going to post up right there. Okay. So, this one here is posting up on your elemental. This one here just dashed so it can't do anything. So yeah, that's all that's happening. It's just going to reach out with a claw towards your elemental. You have your stats for it?
Yeah.
Excellent. It's going to attack twice with its wild touch. First one is a... That's 12 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, second one, it swings wildly again. That's a 17.
Meets it, beats it.
Meets it, beats it. Okay. So its claw sort of slashes through the form of your elemental. You see it leech some magical energy as it goes. These sort of like motes of green light are extracted from the elemental and shifted into this thing's bark as the elemental takes not that much. 8 points of necrotic damage.
Oh. It's 126 hit points.
It's not
it has
going
almost as many hit points as I do.
It's not going down. I wouldn't worry, it's not going down. And that's all they can do. So we then move on to, and this guy's still locked up, right? Yeah, not helpful for me. So we're gonna go to Nevrik.
All right. I am going to. Is this Sacramentum a bonus? Is it an action to draw? What did we decide
I think so.
this was? Was it a full
It
action?
should say it. I have it here. I have it as well. It's an action. It's an action.
Understood.
Because it's the casting of the spell
Yeah,
Conjure
yeah.
Elemental, right?
Right. This is what I'll do then.
This is too intense. You're finding a deer in the woods.
Okay, here. Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
No. I did not mean that you should change it. I like it. I meant in general.
Oh.
It was just like, I was like, oh my goodness.
We could change it up, though. What are we feeling? Jungle combat? Thank you, Ivan Dooch, for your music.
Sorry, give me. I was ready and then I wasn't.
This one's called Bloodied Sword, which is another name for...
I really don't like the implications of what you just said.
So I'm gonna use one of my.
Very uncomfortable.
I'm gonna
to
use one of my class features.
Okay.
And I'm going to create a melee weapon of wind energy. Since
Yeah.
That's the.
That's so okay. Excellent.
So it'll be doing force damage.
What? How is it styled? Describe this weapon as you summon it.
This is, bringing back a little bit of region flavor. It's gonna be a double-bladed scimitar. I don't know. It's just kind of fun.
We love to see it as this just like little mini hat cyclone like rips into the air that you grab as it takes semi-vague but sharpened shape.
And then that must.
It's one of our first.
It's a bonus action. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I will.
So your bonus
with
action
that in
conjured
my
this wing
hand,
bucket.
I'm not going to use it yet. I'm going to cast with the Staff of Power Lightning Bolt on that.
On this one here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a dex save, I believe, right?
It just says instantaneous, and then yeah, the
As you basically just like raise your. Do you have any physical tells when you cast spells? Any like signs of power?
I didn't.
That's fine. All I'll
yeah.
say right now is I can imagine here that you just raise your hand up. Your eyes glow the color of the element, right?
Yeah.
This bright crackling blue of lightning as this bolt rends forth from your hand.
Yeah, I
More
imagine
power.
it honestly similar to how Sindar's like
Yeah.
body kind of like takes
does
on
the
whatever
thing.
element that she's doing.
Yep.
But like in
through under the flesh,
Yeah,
like
under the
electro
flesh.
style
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah,
Great.
basically.
So what's the save?
It is.
It almost certainly won't matter.
Whatever.
Is it under a 6?
No.
Okay.
That would be very upsetting.
Yeah, this thing
the save is 19. So.
Caught right in the blast of it.
All right, that is 8d6. So I have 2 more d6. I can borrow.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought Hannah gave you 2 right there. I would have given you another one.
You're not welcome in my cult.
Like,
Sure, no.
I don't want to be in your weird death cult.
And as the shepherdess takes me.
Yeah, and
You're in the cult regardless.
And when I
As I walk
discover
through the
what that
valley
means,
of the
I'll go,
shadow of death,
"Fuck."
I'll take a look at my life.
That's 31 points of damage.
31 points of damage. Okie dokie. This is going to be number 3 here. Yeah, it. Are there? You just send a blast of lightning through it, and it shatters pieces of bark off this thing's shoulder, singeing a hole in it. But it's still basically 3-legged, standing up.
Is it considered flammable?
I would say, based on its magical nature, no.
Okay. Are there anything? Is everything around it as
So
magical?
the things behind it, like the grass, some of the smaller trees, the shrubbery, will have it set on fire and immediately regrown back to its own state. Right? 5, 10. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it just says it lights inflammable.
Maybe some of the
things.
fire back here is still on fire and beginning to spread a little bit, but nothing you necessarily have to worry about at the moment. Okay, is your elemental doing anything?
Yeah. I'm gonna have it make 2 slam attacks, 1 for each thing in front
One
of
on
it.
one. Okay, let's go left to right on my end. Is it just these sort of dirt and mulch and rocks that were pulled from the earth? Make swings.
Make swings go
I
off.
don't know what that is. Is that a 6 or a 9? 6 is right next to it.
Can you do you have eye line on what that number is there?
That's a 6.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The dot.
The dot. Yeah. Okay.
It's 69.
so
Oh no!
there's- Shit, sorry.
It's
one second.
42069.
I want a 21-sided die, and it's 1 through 20, and then 69.
That's a 14.
14.
And it ends the game.
Yeah,
And it just
you win
stops.
D&D.
The fabled thing. Yeah, it just sort of bounces off the bark. The bark is a little too hard. Does not
Yeah,
hit.
it doesn't hit as well.
Okay. Thump, thump. These things are a little bit more resistant. Ystävä, you are up.
So one of force.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, please.
It can still move, right?
It certainly can.
I'm gonna have it burrow and move. Well, can it do all that? Burrow and protect Tanzan.
Like, burrow backwards, basically?
Yeah.
You totally can. You basically... It melds itself with the earth, practically, and and then I assume comes out, right?
Yeah.
It's what's its spiral speed?
It is
Should have enough to go in, out, in, across, and out.
30.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Blind.
Wall of Force. No magic can get through it, so I can't cast a spell inside it.
I mean,
you can cast a spell inside it.
You can cast a
from
spell
the
inside.
but from the outside you cannot. Now you can get in from the top, but I think you can get in by going underground. But I don't know how you can do that.
Cool. Great. Cool.
that's
so
that's
there's
all
nothing. There's fuck all.
But I did trap the strongest being.
I was
just trying to do that to
fine. Yeah.
give us a moment. I
Can
apologize.
say fuck all is what I.
Well, you have friends. There are friends everywhere now to play with.
I have a question. Can this creature understand me?
Hard to say. Hard to say. You haven't had enough time with it to know.
The wizard and the
You're
cleric stuck in a fight.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if they're gods. Still
a wizard and the cleric stuck in a fight.
Still a glass cannon.
Have you guys seen the movie Kung Pao?
No. Oh god.
Alright, for posterity's sake, the reference that I'm trying to make is him running through a field going, "I'm coming!"
Would you consider this a creature or a monster?
What's the difference?
If there is none, that's fine.
I say
creature is universal, monster is... Isn't there like monstrosities?
Yeah.
This is not a monstrosity.
Not a monstrosity.
No, not a monstrosity.
Alright, with my Scudger seal, my cloak that I'm wearing, that looks like stars to all of you, but to everyone else it looks like a
And you're
rat.
still unhooded, right? For the folks around?
Yep, I'm unhooded, so let that be whatever it is to your characters. I'm going to cast...
Still don't know yet.
Fuck. If I cast Arcane Gate, can I just go into the circle even though it's on the same plane? That's my question.
Right. This is the one thing I don't really...
That's a good question because you can't escape that way. But can you get back in that way?
I hate these. Okay.
I'm breaking the game.
I thought like Dimension Door and shit like that can get you in a wall of force.
Because you're not going through it.
Yeah,
but you just can't get out after that.
Unless you cast it again.
Because maybe only like the spell works that like on the inside, it's meant to keep things in. So like the magic kind of
The way
extends.
I read this spell, Wall of Force is a really tricky spell. The way I read Wall of Force and the way I'm reading this Arcane Gate, because this is the one from Skysill, right?
Yep.
Again?
It blocks ethereal travel through the wall. It does not block magic through the wall in any direction.
Oh, so I can cast
like
magic.
this is the direct words of the spell do not say that any magic is blocked by it.
Well,
Great.
Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and cannot be dispelled by magic, and it extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall.
Oh, so you can throw spells at it.
So I can throw
I believe you can throw
that makes
spells
sense.
at
Okay.
It can throw spells at you.
It can throw spells at us through the wall.
Yes.
But it can't move.
It can't move anywhere. So if you want an Arcane Gate, you totally could put... Because I didn't specify, but...
Well, I thought I couldn't cast a spell through the wall, so
You
nix
definitely
that.
can.
What I would like to do then is cast Sleep at 8th level on the creature.
How does that manifest for you from the cloak? Describe that.
I've got my cane, my shepherd's crook, and I've just healed this person and then ripped my hood off. And then I'm going to put out a gnarled old hand like this, and a beam of black energy manifests itself in the middle of my palm, and there's some stars in it if you look real close. And then it just really thinly goes ding, and hits the beast right between the eyes, and their eyes go starry black.
What's the hit point at 8th level?
I'll tell you, I gotta roll
Should roll
a lot.
Blood dice.
I got to roll. Because it's usually 5d8 something.
Does it go... Well, I should be able to put it up here.
It is 5d8, but at 8th level, it is 8d8. No, it's...
More than
what's
that.
5 plus 7? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does anybody have 6 more d8s? I'll just roll them twice.
I got more.
I got more d8.
Wait, am I crazy? It's going up by 2d8 for each slot above first.
Oh, fuck.
It's a lot more than that.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
14.
19 d8. I'm just using a dice roller, guys.
19 d8.
Yeah, you should do that.
That's a lot of dice.
Okay.
As much as we like to be,
I didn't have 19.
Yeah,
we like to be
that's not
purists.
1, 2, 3,
What's the point you're choosing?
6, 7, 8. Forehead.
Forehead. Okay, perfect.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? 14? Is it 14 or 17?
19.
5, 10, 15? 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, ready? Roll that beautiful bean footage. 89 hit points.
89 hit points. So this thin beam of black sort of starlit energy ripples across the battlefield and just pings this thing on the head, and it ripples over its fur. Its eyes glitz and sort of for a moment gloss black before it snaps its head downward, seemingly unaffected, as the beam is going to bounce to the next creatures. It was not affected by that. This one, however, is going to.
Go night.
This one is just sudden, like, having watched the elemental burrow away, it's focused, it sees the black beam of energy, and then poof, face down in the dirt, taking a dirt nap, I think, right? It's
and
not.
wall of fire drops too.
Oh, it's concentration.
Yeah.
Got it. Wall of Force is still very much up, but the fire is not. This one is slumbered. The we said 89.
89.
89. Perfect. However, the only other there aren't enough hit points left to affect the other creature within range, so that one is just slept. That's what's going to bounce. Slept. So it's sleep.
Well, fuck. Bonus action healing word on that dude.
Bonus action healing.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8 points of healing. Yeah.
I will allow it because it was a spell from the cloak. Because traditionally you can't double spell. But since you're a god, no, I will allow it because I'm here for it.
It's from the cloak. So
it's from the cloak. It's not like your spell power. I'm here for it.
It just says, you know what it says? It says you may cast sleep at 8th level from this cloak without expending a spell slot. So
yeah, so I'm here for it because you didn't expend a spell slot, and you basically the spell mechanic is spend one spell slot, do another one that's a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
And this you didn't spend a spell slot, and you are now. So how much healing word?
8 points of
8,
damage.
excellent.
Healing.
As that some of those scars heal a little bit. Scary as you whisper the word. What's the word? Do you have a word?
Rest.
What was that?
Rest.
You speak the word rest, and Tamsin stops writhing a moment to look up at you, and you watch his eyes go wide. Mother?
Oh. Rest, my child.
Nice.
He reaches out and sort of feebly reaches out for your fingertips. I will make it safe for you, Mother.
Oh, it's safe for you?
Pushes up. Stands up a little bit.
Can't take you
a little empowered by the sight of his mother and the radiant feelings of joy that are still laced throughout the area.
I forgot that doesn't
Anything else from you?
That's it for right now.
Okay.
You said he stood up.
Got a little twangy there.
Stood up. Yep, he certainly did. He is going to. Where are we?
He is being protected, though.
Karate chop him right in the forehead. Gotta force you to your knees. Cool.
He is going to, first of all, make a swipe with his little hunting knife against this. This is the elemental. So he's not going to do any of that. He's going to basically just put his fingers to his forehead, take a breath, and in Elven. Do either of you speak Elven here?
I am pretty sure.
No, I don't speak Elven.
I barely speak
You
common.
can basically understand the idea of what he's saying here again with that sort of godly sense.
That's one of my languages. I also chose a feat called linguist, so I just...
You just know the
I
speech.
picked like 5 languages.
I can speak
Type.
6 languages.
He says the words shift, and you watch him. Basically, his image becomes negative, and he sort of moves as if he's going to flip upside down under the ground, and he disappears as he's going to use his ethereal jaunt.
Oh.
I'm going to move him to the High Priestess tarot card there, as he is no longer on this plane.
It's like when people in the Victorian era would be like, would you like to go about a turn around the room, about the room? I'm going for an ethereal jaunt.
I'm going for an ethereal jaunt, darlings. I'll see you when I return, as you come back 6 months later, an eldritch horror, having been mutated by all the god knows what there. So he's just yeeted away for the moment, and that's going to lead us to the goblins, so they're not going to do anything, because they are fried, fricasseed, crispied. So, with the sound of a sonic boom rippling through the air, rustling the treetops, a sight arrives above this clearing here as Ünen yeets into view.
Who, Dr. Manhattan?
Basically.
Just for the sake of ease, we're going to put you a healthy 150 feet above the battlefield. You can see what you can see now.
Yeah.
It's your round action as you've arrived here.
Okay.
Are you going to do anything before I have you roll initiative and get added to the order?
But I won't go this turn.
You won't go this turn because you've arrived this turn. You have like an action to do if you want, but it's not like a full turn.
Understood. I will. He assesses the situation, and if you were to look, you would see the orb, the moving orb in his chest kind of glow a little bit, and then start to move down his arm, and like almost liquefy, and then come out and extend past him. And as it does, it is a bright, shining, almost like platinum metal, and it extends out, and at the tip it becomes a giant head of a hammer, and like he's holding like a massive warhammer,
just forged from your own liquid.
Yeah, oversized.
Yep,
like
forged
it's
from
big.
your own liquid.
You hope what I said. Great.
Hammer?
You want me to bring the hammer back?
Okay, so you are floating 150 feet up in the air with a giant warhammer. There is still so little. You have hamstrung me so much by wall of forcing this guy, and I guess that's good for you. But I don't think he gets any of his fun round actions right now. And that's gonna have to be okay with me. So we are then going now to its regular turn. It's still swiping at the walls. Absolutely nothing going on. So it's gonna land again. Sort of land both of its feet here. And it is going to use its...
Have you seen that video of the lion trying to eat the baby and the glass is like in between?
Yeah, like...
That's what it's doing.
Yeah, literally.
And the baby's just like...
I mean, it's not even quite that aggressive. It's mostly, what you see here is just a little bit of like panic. There's panic happening in this bubble right now. So almost subconsciously another peal of blue light as a bonus action is going to ripple down this way. And it's going to... I think it's gonna get one of its own dudes too, but it's all of these four here. Another dex save from the group of you.
God damn it. That's not good.
Then I gotta roll a d4 for myself. Oh, okay, great.
Dex save for the earth elemental as well.
Yep.
There's a negative one on dex.
You do?
So, what do you guys get?
I got a 9.
9, great.
Me, what is my dexterity again? It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay.
And then for the
earth elemental?
So a 3.
3. Okay.
Yes.
So both the Ystävä, you and the Earth Elemental both fail. You will succeed this as again you're bracing yourself against the peeling of that lightning that just ripples across. That's going to be 20 flat points of lightning damage on the failure, 10 on a success. This elemental or this tree creature definitely failed. Creature and is going to be obliterated by the lightning blast. This was the one that you were fighting, right? Yeah. It gets completely splintered by a second blast of lightning and shatters into dust and ash.
Nice. Thank God Legolas bamfed out before that.
And I think that is all. I spent so much time statting this guardian for it to be basically put in the fucking zoo. So
I'm sorry.
No, this is the use of these sessions. So he is trapped, and we are gonna go to the summons here. This summon is gonna over here. This summon is gonna 5, 10, 15, 20 and tee off with the elemental. This one is still slept. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's gonna get over here, and it is going. This one is gonna just put its paws down on the ground, and it's gonna cast a wee spell, which those of us from the home campaign will be thankful to Delia for. Erupting Earth.
Erupting Earth.
Earth.
Will Smith were to say it.
Earth.
Erupting.
Do you think he ever said that in the documentary he did?
I hope so. Welcome to the erupting Earth.
So it's again right here.
I think that's what
it's gonna affect the three of you. It's not gonna affect these two. They are
Make a
immune
baby
to this
Genasi.
thing.
I'm gonna rub
So I need both of you and the elemental. Get out. Get out. I need the pair of you to roll me and the elemental to roll me dex saves, please.
Natural 20!
Yeah!
Ystävä does a gainer off of the erupting Earth.
Yeah, just like yeet, bro. Ding, 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 ding. The points just rack up as
The
you
old
get
crone.
Yeah.
Flipping.
This is a dex save, you said?
Dex save, yes,
Okay,
for you and the elemental.
That is a 21 for myself, and
Okay.
that's cocked.
A gainer. I want to die.
Damn.
Kill myself.
I'm like one of those anime old ladies.
Yeah, Granny Chia.
You're
18 for the elemental.
18. Okay. So you're all gonna succeed.
I still view you as Yoda.
In this case, I'll have just for the rule of cool. I love it. You're not gonna take any damage as you literally like acrobatics off of this like earthen like explosion, and up into the air.
You just gotta have your knees bent, and then it starts going up. You just push on.
I imagine it's like my body stays straight, but it's just like I'm on a pendulum and it just swings around, but I'm still like, there's no like bent movement. It's just like
Dead straight. 1 point within 10 feet of where you are now to land.
Oh, do the jump over. The Lego Star Wars jump over.
AA.
There we go.
Perfect. Excellent. So the pair of you are gonna take. It's not that much damage. In comparison, really, what is it? 16, 25. So you, but half for the pair of you, right? It's 25 magical bludgeoning down to 12 magical bludgeoning damage. Is this like spikes of bark and mulch just erupt out of the ground around the couple of you. But now we're in the business as this summon is going to attack your summon. Battle of the Conjurings here is just going to make a couple swipes at your elemental. And I need initiative from you. I forgot to ask, but I need that from you. First one misses for sure. Got like a 7. Second one, 17. Meets it, beats it. Nice. That's going to be 9. 9 points of necrotic damage as another swipe drains magical essence from this thing.
Holy shit.
6, bro?
14.
Oh, okay. That's different. Great.
Why would I, if it was 5, why would I do this?
I don't know, I thought you were being spicy.
Because
for some
thumb's
reason.
maybe not weird. Look at my thumb! I can't see his thumb, I can't put it in without putting my finger in.
Well, that's easy though. It now goes directly in order Nevrik plus Elemental, Ystävä and Ünen. In that order.
You just beat your shit out of it. Get your hammer and just mush him.
Okay. So that is going to be our the turn from the summons here, so we move to Nevrik. And then after Nevrik's elemental, Ystävä, you're on deck. What are your plans? You're still concentrating. You've got the wall of force up. What do you want to do?
Do you see me above you, shining?
Wait a minute.
Wall of force.
You don't have a. It's one or the other. I forgot.
I just thought about that as
Yeah.
well.
Because
elemental is a concentration.
Oh yeah, I almost said it, but then I was like, oh, it probably is part of his.
There's a thing. Nevrik can summon multiple elementals at once as long as there are no other concentration spells up. So I completely missed it. So
I did summon the elemental first, but if you want to.
Yeah. So that to me sounds like this guy appeared and did the things, and then the wall of force. So I'm happy. One of them is going away. Would you rather? I'm happy for it to be the elemental.
The elemental's fine. I can, yeah.
Right.
I'll have to go away, and then
keep the cage up.
I will. Yeah. I literally at that moment just thought about that. And I was like,
I didn't process, but it's fine. It's fine. We both missed it, and now we won't.
I will.
Lick's hammer. Lick's hammer made of your own juice.
This is where we find that Ünen becomes a completely different person when he's fighting.
This hammer tastes like victory.
I can't wait to taste its blood.
Hold on, sorry.
You good?
What do you want from me?
While
I didn't know,
like
but I know not.
figuring out his spell. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Nope. If you're ready, let's go.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave in this direction.
Okay.
Wipe.
That's wiped.
I would like to cast wipe.
That is a dex save.
Okay.
As it goes by, it's like a white blood sound.
I'd like to
And
cast
it is-
Etch a Sketch.
30 feet long
Or not, it's one of those.
and 10 feet wide and 10 feet tall.
So you're literally like get wash scrubs, you're so free out this way.
Yeah.
So it's from you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That. Great.
Yeah.
You just waterbend basically this wall of water. I'll roll for each of them. First one is a fail. That's a 5.
Okay.
Second one is a 8.
Okay.
So
they both fail. They take 48.
excuse me? 48?
4D.
4d8. Sorry.
When is that joke not funny in D&D?
It's the D. It's the D. That's not a dick joke. I was just saying
4d8.
It's the D.
4 die 8.
4 dies of 8.
4 8-sided die, please. I will accept no other terminology on my table.
I would like 4 dies of the 8 variety.
Octagonal sword.
Yeah. Bah!
Italian.
That's 21
Iron Calibrimbo.
points of damage.
21.
And they're knocked prone.
Okay.
8.
I'm ready to
20,
go.
22 or 20? What? How many points?
Hold on. 21, I think.
Great.
Wait, sorry. Yeah, 21.
And do they get pushed back at all?
Seriously, when doing a fail save, creature takes 48 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
No. Okay, so they're just
So no.
pushed over.
Yeah.
These they don't really make noise. They just like as they're buffeted, it sounds like howls of wind and that little crackling, crunching bark sound as they're knocked right over on their asses. Anything else from you, sir?
Yes, I'm going to fly upwards.
You gotta fly upwards. Okay.
Because I'm a wee
Yeah.
boy with a wee armor class.
With a wee armor class. How far up are you going? I don't even want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about it.
It's the
Out of
cutest
range
thing.
of
This is the cutest thing.
whatever is that just far enough to where it can't swipe at me.
Okay, so a healthy like 20 feet.
20,
let's
yeah,
say.
like,
Perfect.
yeah.
20 feet up in the air.
And
Excellent.
yeah.
Floating that
And-
prone.
That is. That is it.
God of cuteness.
That would be my turn.
That would be your turn. That would be your turn.
I don't think I can do anything else.
Cool. So this is the first time I've seen this. The Dear Guardian is going to use one of its legendary actions because now we've decided that it can do this. It's going to do it. It's going to use its nature smite basically to again let one of its 6 eyes glow. This bright, like white yellow. Its horns do the same thing, and it is casting Sacred Flame right on you. So that's going to be a healthy dex save from you.
I'm not anything to you.
More like flamethrower.
I just wanted you to go to sleep.
Or like.
That's a 19.
19. That is going to succeed. So it will not do anything at all. You just again.
It's just pure.
With the like Batman it basically, cloak it.
In Star, you haven't seen Stardust when he's the puppet. He just like goes all the way down to the ground and then back up.
Wait, you never seen Stardust?
No, never.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know, right?
This is 2 weeks in a row I've received this, so let's ease it back.
Well, I was not here last week.
Well,
I was in Waterbury, Connecticut.
We can't all be famous.
Is it my turn?
It is indeed.
Great. Ystävä, I, with a frighteningly amount of speed for the kind of person I look like.
A frighteningly amount of speed.
Yeah, right up to the wall of force, and put my hands around it like this.
Lick it.
And I'm going to cast Gas at 9th level.
Gas?
Gas.
I'm a guess.
Are you making fun of my accent?
No, I didn't know what you said.
I'm going to cast
really
Major
just
Toot on the being.
I fart in the wall of force.
Somebody put that shit in the t-shirt.
Am I making fun of Mary Casaro?
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
fucking.
Dutch oven.
You're
the
about to
garden.
touch him.
Fuck me dead. What's the goddamn save?
Do an epic campaign. It's gonna be super awesome.
It's gonna be
and
such a
like,
great time.
and like mythological. Fart joke.
8th level fart
It's
joke.
wisdom saving throw.
That is a
I'm getting critiques from Dan about this.
15.
It does not succeed.
It's going to let its horns flash this emerald green and use one of its 3 legendary resistance
damn it.
to succeed it.
I wanted a pony. Okay. Fuck.
Pony.
Ride that pony.
What's your passive perception? Actually, yeah, please. You're the closest one to it, and the closest anyone's gone to.
13.
13? Yeah, again, there is something panicked about this. And now that you're close, even with its 6 eyes, it's imposing, like, bizarre form, which I guess doesn't seem bizarre to you who've just been introduced to this planet for the first time, where there's no frame reference. But for us, it's a bizarre form. It doesn't, there is less menace in it other than, like, you know, classic, almost like a dog or any animal. Like, hackles are raised, it's lowered its large head and antlers onto its body a little bit. There is tension there, even within itself.
With my hands over here, I turn my head around. I say, "It's scared, I think," and I try to make myself look as non-threatening. And can I use my last bit of action to see if it can see anything in me?
You certainly can. You can roll that Ystävä check for me.
Roll for Ystävä.
Oh fuck! Those are awful. I don't get it. I rolled a 3 and a 4.
It definitely sees something in you. It's hard to glean what a 6-eyed, you know,
Ooh, a pretty
demigod beast is.
Pretty
Okay.
lady, dear.
That is my turn.
Okay. Unum, 150 feet above the action, right about here-ish. If you want, do you have a mini?
Yes.
Put him on the mic.
Dan's gonna hate that.
You can't hear
He
it.
doesn't know or see what that is.
Fuck you, Dan.
Actually, he is watching Curly. He did tell me to turn it up, so he's listening and watching.
Great.
All right. I am going to full on plummet.
Hell yeah!
Like I'm gonna cast
Human bullet.
human meteor, or god meteor.
Yeah.
I'm going
speaking of
to
meteors.
I'm going to Thor
raise my hammer and then yeet downwards.
Onto
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
Onto the wall of force?
I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm the god of
Right, I
force.
forgot.
I wouldn't particularly worry about it.
You're
So,
using him. That's a wall of
let me
him.
ask you this question here, Ünen. Is the hammer the weapon, or are you as the whole thing the weapon?
I would. The hammer is what it's being led with, but like you know, like a good fighter can throw a punch, and it's not just the strength of the arm; it's the entire body itself. Like,
Okay.
Yes,
the hammer is an extension of his body.
Yeah.
These are my friends.
Right.
I mean, like the hammer is literally an extension of my
here's what we're
being.
gonna do. I'm gonna have you roll an attack with the hammer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have you roll an athletics check.
Okay.
Okay? As you plummet downwards towards this thing.
Oh no, y'all aren't even fucking ready. I don't even know what my athletics.
You literally just see Ünen summon this hammer. In theory,
Greek.
That's my
That's the
goal.
point.
It's babushka.
you see that Ünen summon this hammer from himself and then basically hover above the wall of force and just dive bomb.
Do you want me to athletics check first?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Cool. I rolled an 8, so that's 29.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Are you telling me that's...
Hashtag epic level. Adieu.
We're fighting a deer.
Okay.
I'm sorry, an elk.
So you are falling 150 feet. To the
let's
top
do the
of this,
math.
let's say 130. So my math there is gonna be... So, you can choose. Given the success of your athleticism there and the control you have over your body, I mean, it's not wrong. It's a more eldritch version of that.
Yeah, but I think
Since you have control over your body, you can choose to impact it with not only the hammer, but with the full force of your fall, but place yourself at risk willingly. Or you can use some of the force of your fall to let the hammer strike true, but remove yourself from the danger. And I will give you that option with that high of an athletics roll.
I'll also say, since as I plummet, I see Ystävä has gotten closer to the creature.
It's okay, I'm fine.
I'll. I. He doesn't give a fuck. All the
No,
way.
you don't.
All the way, full
I
send.
can do it. I know the points.
For flavor, can I say he breaks the sound barrier just right before he hits it? It's just like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
It looks like
Okay.
the opposite of the volcano that just erupted.
Yeah.
Down instead of
So
up.
It's an injustice when I
Yeah.
I take him through the center of the
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I
Out
see
the
it.
other
The stage
side.
transitions.
You're bringing him to meet Uro right now.
So, oh my god.
You're gonna
Ready
meet
to
my
meet
maker.
Papa. Just straight down.
My daddy's going to get you.
I'm coming, father.
Father awaits us. So I'm gonna need a lot of dice roll from you. First, give me an attack roll with advantage, since it does not know you are there.
Yes. I got a bunch of dice too.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise,
Okay. What is my? God damn it! I'm rolling so bad. What is my? What's it called? Inspiration. I got it earlier.
It's a
What do we do
D6.
for that? It's just a D6. Okay. Well, I rolled a 4, so that's 22.
With advantage?
I rolled a 2 and a 4.
You rolled a 4 and it's a 22? Yes. That's gonna hit. That's gonna hit, my guy. So, as you just rocket, sound barrier breaks, as you slam into this thing, since you elected to really just send yourself, here's what I need you to roll. I need you to roll the damage for the weapon, including any additionals there, and I also need you to roll me 13 d10.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna do that on
dice
D&D
roller.
Beyond. Sponsor us.
13. They already got their fingers in a pie.
We can have them in multiple.
They do have many fingers, I guess.
Oh.
You said
Doesn't matter.
13 D10.
13 d10.
I am rolling like absolute fucking garbage.
That was
I rolled 2
surprisingly
1s.
bad.
What's that?
That was surprisingly bad.
Wow, for a god, it's embarrassing.
You're just continuing the theme from last week. It's okay.
So that's 20 damage.
Base.
But that's so low.
That's 20 damage.
That's 20
Even
damage
God's-
before I add
the falling.
Even God's
Yeah.
whiff.
Okay.
Even God's whiff. Okay.
Fine.
The hammer connects as the force of your precipitous drop, your orbital strike.
Turn him to mush.
I can just hear fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
UAV online. Tactical thing.
That's a 63.
63. So total, what I'm hearing is 83 points of damage in a single hit.
Yes.
Okay. You are also taking 63 points of unrestricted, unresistible bludgeoning damage. As you slam into this thing at full force. Basically, the rest of you, as you watch him break the sound barrier and drop, as he comes into contact with the invisible wall of force, he just phases through it, or they just phase through it rather, and with that whole impact, slam into this thing's back near the neck, forcing it to buckle under Unan's weight for a moment. As Unan, you fall, you're basically prone on top of this thing now.
Nice.
Hammer in hand.
Ride him, cowboy.
Just slammed into it. So that was what? Total of 83 points of damage that it took. You hear it cry out in pain. And the grass and the trees sort of bend away from it, as if in a very strong wind for a moment before they sort of snap back to their place in this grove. It is still up, however. I believe that was only attack 1 from you.
I right myself.
Stand up on its back, like the actual Chad you are.
See, Kai. Oh. This is where roleplay comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
Because
talk to me.
Ünen is lawful neutral. We are in battle. Battle continues. Kyle is a soft boy and wants to save the pretty deer.
Kill the deer.
Oh, kill the deer.
I
kill it.
Tiger Woods its head.
Oh my god!
Just like, again, in that lovely neutral Ünen God of Force stance. 4.
It's like when you're playing. It's when you're playing Wii golf, and you come up and it's like that.
It's the baseball thing where you just for the pitching or the hitting you just flick the wrist,
Yeah.
right?
Look at this
super
freaking
sonic strike. Okay, roll me an attack.
That is a
That's good.
20.
Yes.
Wait,
It hits.
I'm so sorry. That is a 30. Fuck, I can't do math. That is a 37.
Yeah, that's gonna hit twice. That's gonna hit twice over. So roll me for damage.
Welcome to the new campaign, y'all.
I have a plus 18 to hit.
Now we rolled better.
Oh, that was good, that was good, that was good.
Will's re-blocking stat blocks right now.
25 points of damage.
25 points of damage? Yeah, you just fucking Tiger Woods it. Clomp! Its huge head swings back. You narrowly avoid the antlers flailing past you. As you just nail it in the head for 23 points of damage.
25.
25 points of damage? Even better. Okay. That was attack 2. I know you have more.
Sorry, guys.
Take your time. Have fun.
And I do want to describe that, like, it. If you normally, like, when you think of, like, either like a fighter or a barbarian, like there is like intensity and like even if it's not like anger, it's a bit of like ferociousness. But with Ünen, it's effort, but it is like solemn and
incredibly
stoic.
like measured.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like if you were chopping down a tree and it was your job.
Yes.
Right. And you have the forearms of Chris Evans.
That's a 30.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
That'll do, see.
Ooh, wow, that was pretty.
Ting!
Damn it!
Why am I rolling so bad?
Hey, you're really rolling like shit. My character is amazing. My rolls, garbage.
2, 2, 1.
5. So that's 17 points of damage.
Maybe give in to that.
He doesn't possess that at the current moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is why I exist.
And
I exist to teach you how to possess it.
Swing, yeah, you're just hitting it, you're in that rhythm.
Yeah. That's a...
That hits.
That hits.
Yeah.
36.
Yeah, it hits. I think it's an armor class of 15, guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Create medieval
So,
weapons.
27.
27? Let me make sure my math's right. That was 27 points of damage with that second one.
Mm-hmm.
Are
you King DDDing him right now?
Is that the down special with the giant like rocket hammer? Great. I think I'm right in saying that is okay. So I want you to know you did 152 points of damage in that single round.
Holy shit.
So you 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1 up, 2, 3, 4, and with that final strike, there is a howl as you hear this like sound of glass breaking, this like tinkling chime as cracks run up its antlers, and its eyes dim a little bit. They just go distant, and it makes this strange, mournful, and it doesn't fall to its knees, but its raised hackles just stops, and it stills in place, and all these elementals just like fade to bark in their spots, and these trees begin to the leaves don't all fall off the trees, but the leaves sort of like dim in hue, and the trunks shrink in size a little bit, and the grass goes all grey in this area.
You create
as it sits there. It's quiet.
Too quiet.
Do I taste death on the wind? Do I taste
It's a
a
lovely
mummy
question.
coming
And
by?
if it like, I know you said it didn't like sit down, but like if it slouches at all,
It does a little bit,
As
yeah.
it moves down, Ünen does not like. Ünen is already.
Yeah,
floating.
stays in place.
Yeah.
Ystävä tastes like a new twist on a familiar meal. There's something about it that feels like homey to you, that feels right. There's the air in the space is now infinitely more breathable to you, and you feel like you can move easier. But this is new. Yes and no is my answer to you. At base, without any further exploration for you, yes and no. If you want to talk actual death, all around here.
Yeah.
Right? Though that's not necessarily something that you may, spend a lot of focus on. Death in as a blanket concept does surround you.
Okay.
Before much else happens, Buddy Boy, Tamsin, sort of unnegative spaces themselves over there and dashes over to the force bubble. Doesn't really realize it's there, bounces back a little bit. Sort of does Mr. Mime on it for a little while.
Boom.
Before they look to all of you. It is done. Lingering a long time on you, Ystävä, like grinning.
Yes.
We can't take her anyway. All of them are gonna be like, Mom? Dad?
And he's still like, there's an excitement in Tamsin that stays while he's looking at this strange statuesque sight before Tamsin switches and sort of softens a little bit and is going to make his way over this way to start gathering ash.
Oh, God.
I think we should go. I don't think we should stay here.
I think this has gotten kind of awkward.
I'm gonna lower
Let it be a mystery how this thing
I'm
died.
gonna lower the wall of force.
You lower the wall of force, and this thing is still. It's not made of stone, it's still made of organic material, but it no longer glows. It barely exhibits any color. And all of its eyes are still and pointed in almost different directions.
This creature is immense.
What do you think its job was?
I think it was guarding the area.
Fuck.
Keeping it alive, if you will.
Should we bring it back?
Where?
Here?
It's already here.
Oh, here. Figure of speech.
I don't understand.
I cast.
Well, they were meaning to hunt it. Well, actually, I don't know if it was that they were hunting, but Tamsin.
Sort of gathering something into a pouch, he pokes that up.
What were you hunting? And I speak this in Elvish.
We were hunting for what we could find.
Do you eat this creature?
No.
Have you seen this creature before?
Not myself. There are stories.
Has one ever been in this state?
No. They have died, yes. This, no.
I feel like we messed up.
I think we did do something we weren't supposed to.
I would like to try and cast Revivify. Using my Rise from the Ashes ability, I don't need any material components, just the fire within my soul.
Okay, the Phoenix Force itself.
Yes.
Alright, you get back to
Then-
Sophie Turner.
So you step up to it and just describe to me where you are, how you're placing yourself, and how this act takes place for you.
I put my hood back on and kind of let go of the old crone persona a little bit and then walk up to the fallen deer and put a hand on each antler and then close my eyes, and wind from no origin just comes and whooshes and my cloak billows, and you can see the stars on the edge of the brown rough spun thing start to twinkle, and the underside looks like space. And then I cast Revivify, and that dark energy, starry magic pours down the horns and into the deer.
I love it. I can see it so clearly, almost like that magic becoming liquid and sort of infusing itself with the horns. Looking regal and powerful as the wind ripples Skiersel around. Tamsin stopping what he's doing, falling almost fully backwards to watch you as you hold these antlers and imbue this thing with the magic of not even life or death, but that between space. You just shift the scales of this thing. And it's like breathing for you. This isn't like some level 8 cleric bringing back a departed friend. This is business as usual. But these antlers, as your magic, that sort of starlit magic pours into them, they change from being simply fractaline structures that reflect light to taking in that almost star-flecked substance. And as this thing is buffeted by wind and magic alike, and its fur begins to brighten a little bit, it goes from less white to a more twinkling silver, as some of the starlight from your magic on its antlers begins to reflect across each other, creating this line of light in between the antlers that then solidifies and almost opens up like a silvery pearlescent disc of light hanging between its antlers, now flecked with stars. As light returns to this being, as you basically find its little soul in the pocket of your own pocket of the cosmos and drag it back to this thing's form, at least the piece of it, the portion of it that had been fragmented moments ago and bring it back into it. Your touch, as it resonates with a being that was not quite mortal to begin with, creates a reaction. This pearlescent disc of light that now stays suspended between his antlers hangs there and lets that almost moonlight illuminate over this thing's bulk. As its eyes gain clarity and stare at you and sort of refocus on you, as movement shifts back into its musculature and the grass starts to liven, but the leaves start to fall. And the sky, that storm cloud, dissipates a little, but the sky darkens, almost as if there was a solar eclipse happening just on this particular area, as this deer stands up on its two hind legs, looking down at you. It hunches over down its shoulders, still looking at you, tilting its head to the side. Almost like a bow.
You are safe. We will not harm you. Go and protect these people. In my name.
It stands up again on its hind legs, still weirdly hunched, before it moves to fall down on its all four legs a little bit, but its four legs, F-O-R-E, don't meet the ground. They land in the air as it begins to gallop upwards, up this way and beyond, as if it was ascending a staircase that's invisible, as it begins to gallop further or prance further up over the treetops, carrying that little cloud with it as it moves along, looking like a shooting star or a comet as it picks up speed and moves back eastwards towards Heart of God. And as it moves, that sort of dim eclipse light moves with it. And somewhere in the woods behind you, you can hear a crooning sound. A little like weird symphony of small animal noises, almost like howls but much softer and more resonant, begin to rise upwards as this new being passes overhead. And this empty clearing, we are going to take our 15-minute break.
What the hell did you just do?
I don't know. I just did it. Because that's how Ystävä do.
Good stuff, guys. Thanks for watching our first godly group combat, which went just about as well as we could have expected. And we will be back, let's say, at 35.
35.
See you back soon.
See you soon.
We'll be back. My name is Aurelius Zeph, the protector of Banon, a small whaling village on an island off the coast. I lived my life as anyone should. I cared for my friends, loved my family, forgave my rivals, and built a home to be proud of, a home worth protecting. One day, when I was out whaling, the weather was foul, and the gods' whims must have been wrathful that day. For they sent a wave, bigger than the tallest mountain on Banon, straight towards the tiny island, to seemingly wipe it off the face of existence. In an act of desperation, I turned my small boat and headed straight on for the wave. I wasn't driven by rage, or the lust for glory, or the pride of trying to best a divine being's whim. I was driven by the deepest feeling someone could have. Love. Love for my home. Those rivals I forgave, the friends I cherished, and the family I raised, for they all would surely perish under this Armageddon. So I gripped my harpoon, and I sailed directly into this beast of a wave, and gave up everything I am to protect this beautiful, insignificant village. I gave up my body and the strength that I built my home with. And I gave up the memories of my life, my friends, my family. They all became strangers passing in my dreams. I gave up everything, down to my soul, and to spare this island and to stop that beast from taking it away. And now, as the shepherdess takes me, I can only hope that my sacrifice is enough for the unfeeling gods to notice and spare this small village, this small, insignificant village. My name is Aurelius Zeph. I am a mortal, and I am no more.
The rebel child Sindar sought to control and shape the primal passion that flowed throughout the universe. The other gods had no control over this passion and its overwhelming force, leading to many godly disputes. So, Sindar took this passion, shaped it into emotion, and created her son to rule over them. He was called Nevrik. Sindar charged Nevrik with the power of passion, separating it into 5 base emotions: love, fear, anger, joy, and sadness. Each of these emotions were tied to 5 elements: the immovable earth, the flowing water, the burning fire, the fleeting air, and the striking lightning. Each of these elements came together to form Nevrik's home, the catalyst of all emotion. And Nevrik was the key to unlocking all incorporeal sensation in the universe.
And so came midnight, lost in the stars of the fallen people of his world. As a mortal, Midnight was around in the early ages of his land, and was a part of the few that were at the beginning. Midnight's parents were the first to die, leaving Midnight in a state that would lead him to godship, the exploration of death, hoping that he could see his parents again, while also to be the god that understood what took his parents from him. Death itself. Midnight is there to research, study, and ponder what the moment of death will bring to everyone. A worker with all the gods, but closely with Ystävä, leading you through the moment of death and handing you off to Ystävä for the afterlife. On the journey of life, midnight comes when you least expect it. It watches how you make every decision to your last breath. Looking over every soul that reaches death, midnight takes a moment to care for what you have done what choices you have made, and what has brought you to your final breath. And with that final breath of life you take, midnight will come.
During the birth of Regolus, Uro created with it a messenger who would meet with the Crucible and assist them with the maintenance of this blossoming new reality. I am Ünen, herald of Uro and god of force. In the beginning, my work was primarily with Kirin, assisting with the creation of the elves. Since then, I have continued my mission to help this universe grow and help the gods as they govern it, forever maintaining the vision that Uro had for his creation, and serving as linchpin for the forces of nature in order to maintain equilibrium.
Welcome. Don't be afraid. There's no reason to be. Let me start with telling you a story. Maybe that would make you more comfortable. But please, you're safe. This story is about the first person who died. So, when the first mortal perished, no place had yet to be created for the dead, except for the god sleep. This mortal came to the sepulchre of the gods alone and with no means to return to the worlds of the living. It was not a place for them. Yet, unfortunately, they were there because there was no other place for them to go. Fearing an eternity of nothingness, or worse, being discovered by a not-so-forgiving god, the mortal tore into the ether, desperate to escape. The ether tore back, filling the mortal with the vast potential that Uro gave existence. All that was before and all that would come to be, ripped through the very essence of the mortal's mind and body. But the mortal's will was strong. So strong that once soul and vessel had been consumed by the void, their will remained. From the ether, something began to stitch itself together. The very fabric of the universe, combined with the mortal will to endure, weaved a new being. A friendly face to meet at the edge of eternity. A shepherd to guide souls from what was to what will be. The new god, imbued with the spark the mortal left behind, fashioned a name for themselves. Ystävä. Ystävä carved out a piece of the god sleep for the perished mortals, for you. Ystävä made it for them to come for a final rest, or to be reborn into the next cycle. And while this creation seems very mystical, some focus on the peace and the comfort the god of the afterlife provides, Others fear the great unknown, which I don't blame them. Unknowns are scary, but a very select few believe there might just be something more to be discovered, even beyond the veil. Maybe one day we'll find out. Welcome to the Afterlife. My name is Ystävä.
Great. Okay, I want to kill myself. Oh man. Here's the thing, guys.
So good.
I just don't see why. I don't see why the second I start.
Gave me a headache.
I mean, is this the role of the DM to just get roasted, to try and tell a story and get fucking flamed for it?
That has been my experience.
Yeah.
Whenever I DM.
Damn.
That's in the player's handbook. That's what it says you have to do.
Especially when it's with your friends, because there's nothing sacred.
Right. No one's paying you to do it, so it's just roast you hours. None of you are, in theory. At least that I know. My bank account.
Unless you use your Prime account to subscribe to our Twitch.
And that's fine. If you guys are being paid to roast me, I can accept that. And yeah,
subscribe and I'll roast Will more.
The more subscribers we get, the more roasts that I get.
Yeah. Should we do a roast?
We'll make fun of Will like we make fun of Woody.
Okay, divert that road, different day. Right now, we gotta drop back in because metaphysics were just changed.
Oops.
Okay?
Metaphysics.
Did you say oops?
So,
don't you mean you're welcome?
The remnants of this deer guardian in its sort of new revivified shape have just pranced off above the forest canopy. Sounds of animals in the distance, preening and crooning as this thing moves. Light quality shifting. This grove changed now, as the grass has come back to life, but seems to be more knotted and a little darker in hue. The trees themselves have almost withered a little bit, but are just in the way that they are changing shape a little bit. No longer are they like really, for lack of a better word, girthy, redwood oaken trees. I said what I said and I meant it. It's a great descriptor here. But they've become slightly spindlier, slightly more winding, and the leaves have turned suddenly in this grove, and some of them are falling like gentle feathers now. So Tamsin, still gathering ash here, is looking amongst the three of you. One whom he just saw resurrect a considerably sacred creature. Another who dropped out of the sky earlier and was calling magic as easily as breathing. And the third who dropped from nothing to obliterate the said sacred animal. Again, holding this bag of ash of his fallen comrades here, he puts his head to the ground warily. What are you?
I'm still in the air, so I float over to him.
Oh, fuck.
I land, and I put my hand on his shoulder. And I just say, I'm your friend.
He takes your hand, puts the bag of ash down, takes it with both of his hands. Bites it. Place it on his own forehead while still holding, or attempts to if you're going to refuse that.
No.
Puts it on his own forehead, without looking at you still. Thank you, friend.
Always.
Gathers the rest of the piece of ash and quickly sort of stands up. Looks at the three of you. Very pale, very injured, scarred all over the right side of his body with his lightning strike scars. And begins to sort of stumble a little bit backwards into the tree line.
Oh no, wait.
Lets out a sharp whistle.
Oh.
To which movement is heard. You guys doing anything?
Oh, I go back to looking like an old crone. Oh. I don't want to look like a god. I want to look like an old lady.
I'm still in my mortal form, and I'm not floating anymore, so I see no issue. Yeah.
The what's it called? The warhammer melts back into Unan's arm, and then like the metal kind of like, as it moves across his arm, kind of starts to disappear and is more like in his body and back to the floating orb. And it does not
Just
hit touch ground.
chills.
Be cool.
I don't understand.
Okay.
The movement at the whistle is then given a physical cue as this much smaller deer-like creature with 4 legs, not 6, sort of prances into view. Again, sort of pale, like slightly off-white fur, but very, very clean looking and very, very well kept. Slightly bronzed antlers, small, just peeling back over the head. This pale deer sort of gallops into frame from the woods. Really crude leather wrap of a saddle around its back, to which Tamsin just one arm swings himself up onto it as it's not moving particularly fast. Clearly a little cumbersomely with his injuries. And Peter's back on this deer thing into the woods, going across, eastward, back towards the tree, towards Heart of God, giving you one longing look over the shoulder as he goes.
I wave.
I wave as well.
Ünen does not.
And to myself, not that he can hear me, I just say, I'll see you soon.
He just holds up his arm, sort of clinging onto the deer with the other. He holds up his arm and just in some sort of resolution, staring as the deer leads him into the dark, though it is still daytime out. Can all of you roll me a perception check real quick?
Oh, I'm so good at those. Oh.
It truly is as if we are Alethea and Alec once again.
Oh, sorry. Ava, I almost dropped my phone on your head.
Nice. That's a 13 for me.
13?
13.
That's a natural 20 from me for a total of 25.
Oh! Okay.
23.
23.
I have clarity.
All three of
I'm a
you
father.
in the direction from which the direction that Tamsin just rode off, you could hear movement in the distance. It is quiet now, it is getting slightly louder by the moment, and it is not from one source. There are multiple sources of movement. With that nat 20, it's not a sight or a sound, you feel a pressure. A distant pressure. And it's not something that's like been omnipresent this entire time. You can feel it, it is direct, it is not environmental.
Is it a good feeling or a bad feeling?
It's more just a sensation. The longer you think about it, it makes you a little anxious.
Oh, I think we should go.
He's riding in the direction of...
This pressure is from a totally different direction. You can feel a pressure like just like almost internally.
It's my spidey senses.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But they're two separate things. This like he's riding towards the direction of this like sound of movement. You can feel this. You're aware of this.
He's
pressure.
riding in the direction toward that.
No, pressure and the big movement are
two separate things. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone else feel uncomfy?
What are you?
And now it's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's Jim Carrey right
playing
now.
Mary Corsaro.
I don't understand. We are alone.
Okay. I don't feel great. I feel a little nervous. I start moving around, and does me moving in any direction make me feel less nervous?
Doesn't change anything at all.
Oh, I think we should go. I think we shouldn't be here.
Don't look at me.
Nevrik's attached
to
I'm speaking in roleplay, not in roleplay. So he's gonna fly. Without saying anything, just fly toward Tamsin.
Following Tamsin?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just sort of drift up and fly through the woods, eastward. Like in the canopy again, or like semi-ground level?
Semi-ground level, just to
Like
make
through
sure
the
I can
trees.
see.
Okay.
Make sure this guy's safe. I'll back.
Nevrik's off.
Perhaps we go. I don't know why I'm speaking like Jenny Lippman now. I'm just imitating all our drama teachers.
What is going on?
The boy who lived.
Perhaps we go back where we came and just pretend we didn't go here. We just played that. I don't. I'm just worried about Aldwyn. That's all.
Oh. Yes, we also were in the meeting.
Huh?
But he did run out on us.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should go back.
Right, I will race you there.
As a challenge.
Yes.
Oh. When do we start?
Now.
Okay.
I stay put. I'm gonna wait for whatever comes. I'm actually, I want to stay put in the middle of the glen, and I want to listen to this feeling.
Okay. So in order here. Nevrik, you are following along. If you're moving at speed, you can sort of not fully catch up to Tamsin on the deer here, though you could if you wanted to. They come back into sort of your view in front of you, and this noise is getting louder. And the more you move, the more you follow Tamsin, you can see him sort of hear it and pick up on it and like sit up a little bit as much as he can. But the more you move towards it, the more it becomes more clarified that it's hoofbeats. It's the sound of hoofbeats. And the closer you go, they sound very similar in timbre, just multiplied, to the hoofbeats of the creature Tamsin is riding.
Oh, I would definitely stop. Moving ahead, like I wouldn't go past the
that
search party if
okay.
that's what it is.
So when you come to sort of process that, you're going to stop as well?
Yeah.
Cool. You, however, are considerably ahead. So you're now stopped in the middle of the forest. Are you going to go back, or are you just going to wait and listen?
Did I like pass?
No, I mean, how fast were you warping? Were you trying to like really get to...
We were racing.
And it racing at top speed? It's up to you. How fast is Ünen racing here?
I mean, top... I guess
are you like
in
reality warping across space?
No.
Just flying at top speed?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you would have gotten... I don't think you would have passed Nevrik yet. I think you would have gotten fairly close, though.
Cool. I just more meant, like, I wouldn't... Like, if this becomes, like, an interaction, I wouldn't just, like, go past.
Yeah, go, like, just fucking skeet past. Yeah.
What the hell was that? Sits in the meeting room.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking here.
Well.
Well. That's all I meant.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
So you're hanging out for the moment. Nevrik, what are you doing?
I'm gonna... Can I see?
Not yet.
Okay, so then I'm gonna fly a little bit faster.
You're gonna try and pass by Tamsin, or still stay in line?
Just stay in line, but just to catch up and meet whatever's coming.
Okay. Can you roll me another perception check?
Yeah.
And then, if you're are you trying to hide from Tamsin's awareness?
Not necessarily. No.
Okay.
21. Sorry, can't do
21. Okay. Cool. So you fly a little faster. You get closer. Tamsin sort of sees you, stares up at you like very wide-eyed now, and then focuses back ahead. Much tenser and much smaller than he was before. With your perception, as you're flying faster, you can see it's hard bearing, but you can see coming through the trees a sizable party of old-blooded individuals on these deer, on these pale bronze antlered deer, coming at almost in a line from the other end. And they and Tamsin haven't quite clearly seen each other yet, but with your perceptive gaze, you can see that that's what's coming.
Gotcha.
You said a 21?
Yeah.
Cool. It's, again, a fairly sizable vanguard. It's mostly out in a line. It's hard to pick out individual garb, but two of them are riding ahead. And they look distinct. One of them is one of the taller, sort of more floaty old bloods. And it is one that I don't know. You didn't meet them.
Nope. No, I haven't.
So you didn't meet them. But they're dressed in like robes, sort of almost anachronistic robes. The other one, riding in front next to them, is one of the bigger, burlier, third-eyed individual, but they look very different. They look pallid, they look almost grey, they don't have a third eye from what you can see from this distance, and they are completely hairless.
Shaved.
And they are riding slightly ahead of the rest of the group.
Or a
You
seal.
can see something that gives it a red glitter around that one, but it's hard to tell from what it is at this distance.
Well, I think I'll fly and then I'll just land where they'll meet me. Just wait.
Okay. So you fly ahead. Do you want to fly like to where you're just going to land right in front of them and force them to stop, or just land and then let them come to you?
Land and let them come to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like hinder them. Just
so you fly up over and above Tamsin, land, causing Tamsin to sort of come to a skid near you, pulling the reins in and hunching over. Hello again, friend.
I heard something coming toward you, so I was a little nervous. And the beast that we just fought, it could have been another, so I wanted to make sure you were safe. You were pretty hurt, so.
Yes. Thank you. I am safe.
Good.
I am safe.
Good. Then I will meet the coming people.
Okay. And they try and sit themselves up a little more, but it's not that productive. As these hoofbeats get louder and louder and louder as this entourage comes into view. Probably like a dozen or so. Maybe a little more. As they filter through the trees, and as they come to see you, the wide line bends around into something nearing a very, very irregular circle dotted around these very densely packed trees. As these two slightly more regal looking, or at least they're decked out more than the other two individuals, come into sort of a little further in, as the rest of the entourage closes a little bit around them, still again irregularly dotted throughout these trees. This robed individual sort of stops on the deer here, big old sort of weird leather-bound, skin-bound book at their hip. They speak first in something that is recognizable to you in Elvish, and it's the most refined Elvish you've heard so far. But since you do look like an old blood, who are you? And what are you doing in the Heart Wilds?
I'm Nevrik. I'm a traveler.
Tamsin swings down off of the deer and stumbles a little bit forward towards you, at which point there's a tension, a wave of tension that ripples through these people.
I was escorting Tamsin back safely. He was pretty hurt.
Tamsin puts a hand on your elbow. 'Tis true. Friend. This one, with the book, tilts their head a little bit, inclines. My name is Urviran, first of my people. Most intrigued to meet you. Lift you up and down. This one, the pale big one on the other deer, with this, basically they have a staff slung over their back, or a spear or something, has this big weird, like sharp black, almost lamp light looking thing up here that's crackling with red light. And they swing down off the deer and land. They're quite sort of heavy set, but they move. The land is heavy, but they move with this weird, like oily grace. The strange little pieces of like red-hued, dark metal mail that they've got. It's very crude. It looks like they've fashioned it themselves, with some tatters of leathers underneath. Can you understand what I say to you?
I can.
They look around. And they speak again, and it's in a different tongue that you can hear, but it's basically, well, what languages do you speak at the moment?
You told me primordial.
Mm-hmm.
Celestial, Elvish, Common, Infernal, and Draconic.
Cool. Oh, shit. It's not in a language that you necessarily like know fluently, but again, you can hear it, but you can tell that it's different, and you can understand it, and you can see the rest of them sort of like are a little taken aback when it speaks. And can you still?
I nod.
They turn up to Overan on the horse. Intriguing is the right word, first of us. The right word indeed.
You walk up to the center of civilization and say, I'm a traveler. And they're
Like,
what?
Give me one second.
Get over it.
Scrubs.
From out of town.
Fuck.
Just passing through.
Indeed, I am also intrigued to meet you. I am the leader of the the Urken. You may call me Sartor.
Can you spell that?
Sartor.
Daddy Sartor.
Leader of the
Urken. U-R-K-H-E with an accent pointing towards the end of the word. N-N. First of my kind. Tell me, traveler, what brought you to our woods? We are not accustomed to many visitors.
Well, as I said, I was traveling to the big tree across the way. And I was with two of my friends, my other friends, and I happened upon Tamsin and a few smaller beings. And he said he was going hunting. So I decided to join. I'd never hunted before. I thought it would be thrilling.
Is this when I show up?
Then we were attacked by this large creature that just like the one you're riding, but bigger.
A guardian, I believe.
Right. A guardian. And here we are. After a big battle, but
he slings this staff off his back and steps a little bit towards you before turning his attention to the wounded Tamsin and gently leaning this like crackling red black metal spike end of it on Tamsin's wounded shoulder, which starts to reset a little bit. Child of the bark. Is what the traveler says the truth? Tamsin earnestly. He is a friend. We lost my party in the hunt. But he and his two...
Do I arrive?
Friends.
Do you?
I don't know. I would only stop when knowing that this is happening. And
You would have heard them before getting to this point. Would you have stopped at that?
I had heard.
I had heard them previously. You would have heard. That's what I mean. You would have heard the people like riding. Would you have stopped at the sound of them coming?
No.
At the sound of hooves. So the catalyst for stopping is something like this, right? Then.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I guess that's the better question.
In my mind, it would have been sight, like because I heard the sound in the field, and as I was getting closer, I wasn't really like listening.
Sure.
But if I notice a group of people.
Then I will have you
including
also roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Basically, it's retroactive on when you would have spotted them meeting.
Okay.
Either when you're on top of them, or earlier.
I understand. Go ahead. 22.
Yeah, you would have seen them before being on top of them. You would have had the chance to sort of come to a fairly sudden but safe stop in the air. It's up to you, though.
Yeah, I'll come to a stop a little bit away, and like float down so that I'm not in flight.
Yeah.
But just and then kind of hover forward from there on the ground, toward above the ground. But like I see
to approach.
Yeah,
basically.
I see Nevrik. I see Leader
1 and Leader 2 here.
Yeah, like there's no reason for me not to.
Sure. Okay, so you are approaching this sort of conclave here, right as this individual Sartor is directing to you. Our scout here vouches for you. It does not explain why a traveler bears the visage of one of my own people. From where do you travel? As you enter this moment. Again, probably passing by next to some of the other seated riders here, these hunter-looking ones who look fairly similarly dressed to this individual Tamsin. They sort of part and jostle. And Overon on the horse, Overon's eyes, as seeing you go,
well, wait, do I notice? Sorry.
Yeah, you see him coming as well. You see all of this. I mean, you can't miss what Overon's doing, sitting on a bloody deer.
Right.
Are the Guardians usually a problem?
That would depend.
So you...
On what?
On a number of factors. Who are you?
You haven't met...
I look in turn to... I forgot, I'm only grasping the name Tamrin. What is the...
Tamsin is the scout.
Tamsin, and then the...
Tamsin,
Sartor,
and then So Overon on the horse.
Overon.
That's
Overon.
That is the word that I...
The Welsh High Elf leader.
Yeah. Ünen looks from Overon to Nevrik, and is just kind of doesn't know what's...
You know that scene in The Office where they play the murder mystery and all of them are like... That's where Overon is sitting there at like...
There's been a murder.
Did you two travel together?
Yes.
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 Is there a problem?
Sartor.
I look to Sartor.
Is about to, like, clearly sort of stick the staff in the ground and speak when Overon just like puts a hand down on Sartor's shoulder. No, indeed. No problems. Our growing cycle of life here is more than a welcome haven for travelers seeking refuge from the wilderness of the world. Our hunters should know better, he directs to Tamsin, than to intrude upon a guardian without the necessary precautions and boundaries of the soul, yes? May your injuries serve you as a reminder of that, as your scars bear them forward. Tamsin.
We engaged with the Guardian because we thought it hostile, but now we seem to understand that it is a more subjective task.
Sartor again, looking sort of up to Overon and down to you. Subjective task. Yes, quite. Most curious. Your lack of knowledge on the subject, being an Elven yourself.
He's the like death priest in El Dorado.
Oh my god!
The leader's
Yes!
like,
I was just gonna say,
fucking
like,
love you
this
guys."
might as well be
Yeah.
Aldwyn's
Yes.
child right here, because I'm...
God. Yeah, in a Ünen is confused, notably, but like demeanor-wise is cool as a cucumber and just kind of there, waiting for.
Sato looks at you for a moment longer. Tilts that, like, sees you for a moment. And comes to sit, like stand straight up. Perhaps these problems are trivial. Travelers. Welcome, travelers. Thank you for assisting our humble scout. The Guardian was seen moving. We must attend to this first of us. I shall do so.
Do you kill the Guardians?
That would depend.
On what?
The subtleties of the circumstance.
So you say it's a subjective task?
Quite. And Elven. Quite. We have not seen one do such things before. So we shall observe. He calls out in a couple of like high-pitched whistles and clicks to a series of the stationed riders as he gets back on his own. Deer here slings the staff back over. A pleasure, travelers. I very much hope, respectfully, to see you again. He gives another whee, like this whistle, this almost like whistle screech, and a portion of the retinue sort of wheels around with him as he veers back into the wood. Tamsin following suit, leaving a handful of these riders and Overon here. Wise travelers, will you be accompanying ourselves back unto Heart of God? Or are you left better for your travels this fine afternoon?
Ünen. Where's Ystävä?
They're still back in the clearing, I believe. We were supposed to be racing, but now I understand that to be a lie.
You were tricked.
Deceived.
Ah, they're a tricky one.
You will forgive me, my fellow people are not as well versed in conversation as myself, let alone such wise travelers. You will forgive their impertinence and lack of participation.
There is no problem. We have likely overstepped.
No.
And no, I do not.
You do not.
I do not mean for you.
You do not have to address us so formally.
Respectfully, wise traveler. It would be wrong of me not to.
Well, you are free to be at ease.
I would hope so, wise traveler.
You are in no danger. You just seem a little tense.
Indeed. Such is the nature of being a forthcoming host.
I think we may return at some point, but
we would be honored to have such wise travelers return. The murmurings between the riders sort of begin to increase.
Should we go back to the clearing?
I believe so.
Okay.
We will await your return. Whenever that may be. I'm sure our hunter Tamsin will sing of your praises for some time to come.
He's a great one. Take care of him.
Indeed. May such wise travelers as yourselves take care of us all.
I may be seeing you perhaps sooner than the rest, but we will see.
That would be good. Such a visitation is always welcome. We shall be off.
Goodbye. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Spock. And they, as you guys begin to either walk or drift away back westward, they gather, and with it, their own murmurings and clicks and little speakings of themselves, chattering, confused, excited, and all over the place, led by a very still Overrun. They leave. Ystävä, my friend in the grove. Talk to me. You are meditating on the source of this pressure?
The pressure. I am, I take my mind and I want to expand it so it can encompass the whole world to, like, figure out where the source of this pressure is coming from.
Okay.
Does that, like, if my awareness is like a bubble?
Just...
And if it can...
Are you cerebroing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you just roll me a flat wisdom check?
Flat fat.
Flip, flip.
That's a 29.
29, you just sit there and let your senses glide out from your corporeal mortal realm walking form to your more interconnected consciousness. And as soon as you do so, there's that, oh, okay. It's immediately clear to you it's not coming from the planet. This pressure is descending.
Shit. Is it coming from my realm? Can I feel it from my realm?
As in your pocket of the God Sleep itself? No. No, it is coming from directly above you.
Seems like Aldwyn's man.
Puppy Chubo coming up.
Are you calling out?
Yeah.
Yeah. You call out upwards out loud, and as you look up to the sun above you, you can see little flecks of royal purple dapple across the sun. And with each little burst of purple, that pressure pulses and fluctuates.
Right. I didn't do anything wrong. Yet.
It's not.
Can I get that again? Yeah. You
Chaos.
You like hiss a little bit at the thing, and for a brief fraction of a second, the sun is blanketed in royal purple.
Okay.
Before fading away.
It's just like playful, like
yeah.
It's like
calm down, like.
Huh. While I was in my like cerebro moment, did I feel anything else in the world?
I'm gonna need a more defined.
Anything else that's interesting? Did I feel like the stag? Did
It's
I
like
feel
you just typed "who" into Google.
Did I feel like
What
any
is?
other gods
What
who were
is
present in the world? Anything like that? Like
What's
like
fun?
if Law is there? Like
Okay. Yeah. Roll me a spellcasting check.
I just wanted to Google what sounds fun.
What exists?
That's a 21.
Okay, 21.
Show me.
As you're in that sense of your mind seeking for that the power of that pressure.
How do I make
We're
friends?
looking for different.
Where
do I find other people? It's like that Twitter account that, like, I think it was a fake. This is a tangent, but there was a Twitter account for a while that was in theory like I set this Twitter account up for my grandfather, and he thinks it's a search engine. So it was like,
That's funny.
Brigham High School class of 1945, Brigham High School Linda Young, Brigham High School Linda Young graduate, like just like tweets like that, just the saddest shit.
That's so embarrassing.
That's funny as fuck.
Anyway, as your sense was sort of expanded out to the world and trying to sort of ping off of that pressure,
That's so sad and happening. News.
there are a couple other sources that you can feel that are tethered to that same kind of energy in varying degrees. If we're talking smaller pockets of that energy, sort of like the way the Guardian felt, there are a good handful spattered around this forest and a couple elsewhere. Couple further up north. Couple two to the east. Couple to the west. In terms of anything bigger, there is something. There are two things that ping a little bit bigger. Something on the north edge of the forest hums to you, and something in the sea to the west. Any further than that, it's hard to tell from this general of a waft.
I wonder what's happening to the west.
Aldwyn.
Look to the east.
Do you want me to do anything to make up for this boo-boo?
Grins. As you look at the sun, you can see what look like. You know, since you're a god, you can look directly at the sun.
Yeah, you know.
Where are my eclipse goggles?
You can see these 4 diagonal strands of purple light that almost wisp out from the sun, that look almost from this far, far away like insect wings, but just really just like strands of light. And with that, come home.
The entire world just heard that.
It sounded it's audible to you, very quietly spoken.
Do we hear it?
Yeah. It just sounds like as if you were like Aldwyn was standing next to you in the forest, like, come home.
It's time to end the play.
You're not my dad.
Mom's blinking the lights.
You're not my dad. Yeah, blinking the lights.
Look at this. The street lamps are coming on.
The street lamps are coming on.
On the streets.
I guess that's it for this adventure. I think Ünen and I go. Because I gotta bring my friends with me.
If you're looking at the trees, everything looks like it's melting in watercolor as you peel through reality and just step through existence. And the two of you are beginning to move through the woods, just leaving the numpties behind. As you just see Ystävä wow into being right in front of you.
Hello.
Well, that's convenient. We were actually heading to you.
I believe we're being summoned.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear a voice?
Aldwyn isn't. He was a little angry at the stag thing, so I think we should go back. And I'll take full responsibility for it.
No, you don't have to. It is all of our responsibility. We all came down together.
Right.
I assumed we were helping them.
I thought we were too.
They didn't explain much, but we didn't listen much either.
He also didn't say what we could and couldn't do specifically, so I don't know.
Let's go up.
Yeah, okay.
What's the worst he can do? Kill us? That's what
Is it
I
like
live
we're
in.
on
he
the
can
ship,
try.
or do we have to fly all the way there? Can you fly?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't need to flaunt it.
Oh.
Oh.
It's just feels nice to.
I'm one of the people.
I think up.
I think.
The mist's
I go,
coming in.
Okay, I'm gonna race you back, and I go Aldwyn, and I
I've heard this.
try to go.
I've heard that before. Oh, but you've gone. I don't understand subterfuge and lies.
On the wind, I go. I'll explain it to you later.
It's meant to be playful and funny, if you understand what that means. It's like someone's doing something to make you laugh about it. It's lighthearted, but at your expense.
I have to pay for it.
Well, you pay for it. Well, usually you feel a certain way, but I don't know if you feel yet. We'll work on that.
I have feeling.
You do.
Where? He touches you.
Hannah thinks if you two kiss, then maybe he can get some emotions in his body.
Oh no.
Well,
Bad
he
idea.
did just touch me, so I don't know. You may be feeling a little bit of joy now.
You do in fact feel at touching him like a spark of, I don't know, enthusiasm, excitement. Sort of at nothing, just at being.
Did you sense that?
I do. I do feel sensation, both physical and emotional, normally. I assume not as much as you.
Well.
But I did feel that.
That's what it's meant to conjure, something like that.
Let's go home and get smited.
All right.
So, Ystävä, it was you first, and then the rest followed. In the thinking of up or home or Aldwyn in your case, instead of you just like bending the world around you, it's like things start to bend, and then within the sun there's a pinprick of iridescent light. It's like shimmering opalescent glow that completely envelops you and melts around you with the world and takes you upward. And like before with each of you, as you're pulled through, you can see things around you as you move through space. And there are two important things to note here. First of all, Ystävä, as you're pulled up and through and you're sort of traveling and transcending a single form and are more connected to that complete consciousness as you shift through pieces of it, you can feel in the part of you that exists in your own domain, there is something there. And something there that isn't a welcome guest to which the doors are open when the time is right. There is something else there. The other thing that all three of you can perceive as you are ripped through space and time and existence and are interconnected, the world behind you, as you leave its surface, starts moving. Not that it always isn't moving, but you can see Regolus rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate, and it starts spinning on its axis very, very fast in direct proportion to at you traveling upwards.
Uh-oh.
Until with a flash and a congealing of energy and sense, you are back in the world beacon chamber, being assembled from fractals and little pieces of energy and light that the beacon assembles onto its dais as the three of you stand there. In front of you, as you're in the, if we look at my notebook here, you've got the dais in the center, and the rest of the room is ridges like this going upwards to the walls. Are two figures.
Oh shit.
One of them is cloaked in their beautiful velvet purple robes with their mantle of bronze and angles, arms folded, hood up, green eyes looking at all of you, tapping one of their armored fingers on their sleeve. And standing right next to them, and 2 steps down, is a horned figure who should describe themselves immediately.
Yeah. Clad in simple clothing at the moment. Just like a rough spin tunic. And I have kind of this kind of palish brown skin. No seemingly like true gender one way or the other. It doesn't present in any way. And these two very kind of outward horns that kind of come up to a point. Kind of they go more outwards than like up or like they kind of just like almost like a longhorn come up. And from what I understand, just in the tunic, standing there, watching.
As the three of them arrive through the world beacon, Aldwyn leans down towards you. These are the three to watch. Welcome back, new children. It seems you much enjoyed your venture down there, did you not?
I had a very pleasant time.
Wish we could have stayed longer.
Oh, yeah, it was short.
Like, for a few 100 years.
Well,
really learn things.
Become one of them, you know.
Far be it from me to tell you exactly what path to walk, but I am left to wonder if you stood on the surface of that world for hundreds of years at a time, would each day be like the one you just spent there? As eventful.
Was it that eventful?
You tell me.
We were actually just hoping for a tour when there was commotion, and we assumed there, or maybe I should speak for myself, I assumed there was danger, and I thought to assist.
Were we not meant to protect the creations down there?
Perhaps some of us should be left better to protect. Like myself and your new sibling here.
Then where were you?
Doing my duty, child.
Okay.
I am most intrigued by your tone, you god.
I am also intrigued by yours.
She chose very, very well, it would seem. Certainly. Well, as I said, welcome back. And may you bid welcome to this one here. It seems this chain of events that started with you all has not yet come to an end, as I would have thought or hoped. But in this case, I see purpose. What is this?
Sorry. Do you know what happened with the stag, the guardian? Do you know what happened?
The guardian? Well, you see, I would have known had it not been sent off as if galloped, yipped out of my sight.
Did you just make a reference?
What do you mean?
I'm not quite sure what you all did to it down there. And I am even less certain what happened afterwards.
Is it not still there?
In a manner of speaking.
And how is it from your sight?
Because its main portion is without availability from my gaze.
Interesting.
Alright. Thank you, Aldwyn, for everything, as always. Okay.
You know, I'll keep it to myself.
No, please speak, child. There is no use to keep secrets in the hearth.
You seem disapproving of everything.
That seems a fair statement.
Did someone hurt you? Are you okay?
I am fine. Thank you. Though it came to my attention fairly early on that if none of the rest of my family was going to keep watch, someone would have to. And unless you feel like you can bear this mantle, then I suggest you let me do my job.
Sure. I just can't imagine how you get along with my mother.
Good, yes. That was amusing.
I'm glad to see you.
I was amused by that.
Thank you.
My child, I would ask, and I will ask many favors of you, but the first of which would be my imploring that you are able to maintain emotional distance from some such as these.
I'm unsure of what you speak, but I will do my best.
That is all I ask.
Emotion is okay.
If you have nothing more to say, I suggest we venture upstairs. I may have been the one to ask for your return, but it is not by my favor alone that this was done.
Okay.
You have a request from one less vocal than myself.
Who?
One of the ones older than I. One of the brothers has asked to see you. Says it is of potential importance.
Yeah, they seem pretty cool, so.
The brothers, who would we speak of?
You will learn.
They
are your elder relations. Your elder relations.
May I point out a dissonance in your general reasoning? Specifically when referring to us to this being right here, you mentioned us as if we are different than you.
You are.
And yet you want us to act and be like you. I simply think that perhaps treating us the same from the beginning is a better road to that.
Perhaps. Indeed. I see that point, and it may well be true, but until you have earned the right to be treated on an equal playing field, I shall do as I please. It is not out of some misplaced ire, more that I was and am made for a specific purpose by our great mother. And while she may call herself that to you, and consider herself that to you, that is not the case. As you made quite plain, I understand. And such is the line where the difference lies. But this is all semantic. It means very little. You went down as it is your prerogative to do. You maintained my one adage that I allowed you to descend upon the condition of. And despite the potential havoc with which your steps may have wrought, and my distaste at some of those actions taken, I cannot blame you, as you still towed the line.
As we said we would.
So, in a way, maybe you're proud of us?
If that is what you would like to say.
Okay.
Make your way upstairs, sooner rather than later. I will leave you, child, with them. I think it would do you good to find your own footing, but do not hesitate to ask for me should you require guidance.
It's kind of a buzzkill.
Are you my Are you my dad?
Oh my god. Oh my god, though.
Dad?
Perhaps we should converse on such matters when you have coalesced a little more. And out of earshot of more troubled individuals. These fucking animals sitting in the table. Does that strike a chord?
Two extremely eccentrics and a block of wood.
If yes helps, then yes.
It doesn't. But
If
thank
no
you.
helps, then no.
It doesn't, but thank you.
Then maybe it is. I will see you all later.
Okay.
Don't you see us all the time?
We are going to have a long eternity. You and I. A long eternity.
Feel free to come by my place anytime you want.
I might just do just that, Shepherd.
She may also come by mine, but you might feel something if you do. It may be too much for you.
The velvet cloak just ripples and shudders as if it was made out of 1,000 million insect eyes. Just like ripples with light. And he shivers a little too.
You just come.
Good being to you all.
I'm getting full Tenzin vibes from him.
He touches one of the hexagons on the wall and is
Somehow
gone.
more hostile.
Leaving the group of you in the world beacon alone. The four of you.
There is something in my room.
In your room?
In the...
I am misunderstood.
Something
You know what? Where all...
other than
where
what...
all the, the dead things go and then I take care of them.
Right.
There's something there that I don't think is supposed to be there. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the stag, but I'm really worried that it might.
You may have sent it there.
Or something.
Do you want to go?
Hi!
I'm confused.
We'll figure it out.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you as big of a buzzkill as your father?
I don't think so, no.
What are you called?
Ah, that's a relief.
Yeah, what's your name?
I don't know. I don't... At least I don't remember.
I'm okay. I didn't have one. I gave myself one.
Would you like us to give you one, or would you
I
like
had
to
no
think
name
on
until
it?
I was given it.
If you want to give me one now.
We can give you one for now.
Okay.
I'm actual dog water.
How about...
That's an interesting name. Is that the one that would make sense?
Who's that person we met down there? Tamsin. That's a good name.
That's a good name.
Tamsin, Uvron, Sator, or what's the other one's name?
Not Sator. That one feels weird in my mouth. I'm sorry.
What's Aldwyn spelled backwards?
Nwelea.
I have to write it down.
Nweldla. Nweldla. I'm pretty sure it's Nweldla.
Quite know where I am.
You're in
Nwendla.
the hearth.
I don't...
I have very few talents.
I don't know what that is.
You are in the presence of gods.
Hello. And you
And you yourself.
are one too.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Okay.
It's
here,
not.
come.
It's not that difficult. You've come from somewhere. You were created by something. You've appeared here, and you've ascended to the state of godliness. You are a being of great power.
And great power.
There must also come great responsibility.
Do you remember how you were created?
I just remembered water.
The concept?
Lots of it.
Oh.
But then
You
I
mean
was
literal water.
But then I was here with
I thought you might mean that the
my maybe father. Aldwyn. And he talked a lot and I didn't understand half of it. And then now I'm here with you and I just don't, and apparently I am a god?
Right. Otherwise you wouldn't be here.
You can all feel it.
It's fair logic.
How were you all created?
Well, I think we all came to be in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I was created by another god.
Do you remember anything before?
Do you? Because Midnight sort of does.
Yeah.
Who's Midnight?
Midnight is the god of death.
Have you seen rabbits before?
I don't remember.
Rabbits are creatures that have really floppy ears, kind of like furry animals. This one can walk and talk and wears what would be a suit. It's just something you may not know.
I've never seen this creature, no.
Well,
I don't remember, at least. All I remember is A before, and then wet, and now
you're wet.
Good dude.
Did you have a wet dream?
No.
I remember being absolutely sobbing.
And that is
I'm a fucking kiddie pool. I'm so wet. You could drown a toddler in me.
Must have worked out, bro.
I remember wet, and then now I'm here. But there was a before. Was there a before for you? Your name, or what are you called?
Ystävä.
Ystävä?
And what do you see when you look at them?
I take my hood off.
What does a blank slate see?
How much?
I'm springing it on
see
all you
what
motherfuckers randomly.
Regardless of what you would remember, you would see whatever you would have seen.
I see a little calf. Shaggy red
Hilan
hair.
cool.
Yeah, a shaggy red hair. But a child. A little boy. Ystävä? Right. Do you remember it before?
Ünen is, for a moment, distracted, looking at Ystävä with their hood down. And I'd really...
Yeah.
What do I see?
I mean...
Or should we talk about that?
I think
this
you know
what you
what
see.
Do I see the eye of Sauron?
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, I just
picked
the mic.
How does it make you feel? That's more.
mean,
Then that's
fine.
your question.
Yeah. Yes, I am Ünen.
Ünen. Yes.
I remember it before. In a sense.
Were you... What were you before?
I'm not sure. I don't think I was.
I put my hand on their forehead and I cast Greater Restoration.
You let your divine magic just swirl into this being and it mingles with them, merges with them, and there's nothing to restore.
Empty.
You can hear the sound of water when she does it.
What'd you do to me?
I just tried to clear any cobwebs that were in your mind or body.
Did you?
No. Except you've got, sounds like water in your ears.
Doesn't feel like it.
Is there water anywhere else besides...
Why do you look like a baby cow?
You seem to know words. Is there a word or perhaps sounds that you enjoy? I quite like the sound of... It's interesting.
I do like a grunting sound. And it is... I'm assuming nobody speaks Minotaur.
Not yet.
It'd be a kind of a grunting, like
we
red
can
chest.
understand it.
But we can't
Yeah,
understand
it's
what you're
home.
saying. Yeah.
Home?
And Minotaur.
but it's like a grunt.
When he speaks that in that language,
I like that sound.
it is definitively more a language than anything up to and including what Uvaran was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I'm from.
It's okay.
I don't know how I got here.
That's fine.
I don't know why I'm here either.
That's okay too.
I believe you are only on, what is the phrase? The tip of the iceberg.
So it's just the tip?
Just the tip?
Indeed.
Always.
We're also on the tip of the hearth. And we can show you, we are meeting with one of the brothers.
Ah, yes, we do have to.
Sorry,
head upstairs.
names. Ünen, Ystävä,
Mm-hmm.
Nevrik. We can call you Win.
Win?
Sort of like Aldwyn, but...
I don't know if I want to be...
For right now, until you find out what your name is.
You don't want to be the son of Aldwyn, perpetual bummer.
Perhaps.
Yeah, he's kind
I don't necessarily agree with you, but I don't necessarily want that either. So yeah, I want my own...
Well, you come up with it, and for right now, we'll each call you our own special nickname.
I like Hilan.
Hilan?
Yeah. Hilan.
Right, Highland.
No D at the end. Hilan.
Hilan.
No D.
Very picky for
No D. Just the tip, no D.
Names are important. Hilan.
It's going to be okay, Highland. Let's go upstairs and introduce you to our relatives.
There's a way of travel. To move about this place, you have to touch one of these hexagons.
But first, you must do 20 push-ups, spin around twice,
And click your heels 3 times.
and then say, in the name of Ystävä, I wish to go, and then you say wherever you want to go.
We did not do that before.
I
That's a new
blast out.
Yeah, just like...
I'd go clap, 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 push-ups.
Like absolutely, like talking about Jesus and evangelical church, shredded, ripped.
I spin around twice. 3 times?
Twice.
Twice.
Don't do 3. You'll turn to dust.
Fuck.
You click your heels 3
In the
times.
name of Ystävä, I wish to go...
Upstairs.
Upstairs.
Diagonally!
Diagonally!
So as you
Raise
do all
well.
this ritual, and even though you're not actively touching with your hand, you're still standing on some of the hexagons on or the surface of the half of your feet. What sigil appears?
A hand, open, not like a stop, but like hello friend, and there's a circlet around it.
Around it.
A very
Great.
simple but regal circlet.
Circle of
around it.
Magi looking kind
Exactly.
of. Yeah. Great. So that symbol appears, and I assume the rest of you are going as well?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You assemble with your consciousness and are shredded into light and energy and travel up the fractaline structure of the hearth. And as you go, for the 3 of you, you feel motes of light and energy that weren't yourselves joining with yourselves as you go. And we are going to end this session with you arriving in Starkeep at that meeting place at the top of the hearth, with the 3 of you each having accrued 25 ether.
Ether.
For your actions on Regolus some centuries ago. And that is where we will end the session today with the 4 of you.
What does that mean to me?
Do I get ether?
You were just me, my guy.
I know, but so I guess I don't get ether.
Not this second, but you will.
I am ether. Do I just grow another arm?
Don't tell Ystävä that.
You...
She'll start cutting
It's
off
a
fingers.
different thing. It is a different thing.
Got
You
it,
accrue,
okay.
It's like an energy of the universe from which you are formed, but you are not made out of this.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
When we come back, do we automatically assume our regular form?
That's up to you. Everyone on the hearth knows who you are, though, regardless of what form you take.
I still would like to assume my regular form.
Okay. Cool, guys. So, character 4, Hilan.
Hilan.
Briefly introduced. But
When I speak to you as Ystävä, does it come out as a Scottish accent like
No.
Lilith?
No.
Oh.
Is it from the north?
Okay.
I don't know. Haven't
So,
decided yet.
Woody, are you with us next week?
I am with you next week.
Yay!
Perfect. Then we'll get a full session with Hilan in an active.
The Highland Coup.
Next week, 4 gods once again.
I'm gonna give you
The
COVID
midnight is
so you
somewhere
can't leave.
batting around.
You're gonna give me
up
what?
here.
I'm gonna give you COVID so you can't leave.
Oh no.
Good stuff, guys.
You can find
Again, a
Delta.
pleasure as always, my friends. I'll just tell you guys thanks for putting up with us on our little technical sound moments here and there, and a battle, first battle. Subscribe if you like, if you feel like supporting us that way. But definitely join our Discord. Jump on the Instagram because all the giveaway stuff are coming shortly there. And for those of you with fun thinking crazy ideas, start cooking some random tables away. Jesus Christ, derailing my camera. To build some random tables for us to redeem motes for throughout the campaign. But thank you, and we will be back for what, episode 4?
Episode 4.
In a week.
The 4.
See you guys later.
Everything changes.
Fare thee well.
Let's go on an adventure.
Au revoir.